Welcome to All Gen Gamers, a podcast for people in video games of all generations. Starring Pete Dorr, Happy Console Gamer, Gamester81, and Jason Heine.
Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of All Gen Gamers. This is episode 76. My God, can you guys?
Oh,
I can't believe it.
especially Johnny, can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
Whoa!
I am joined by Jason the Emu Heine. What's up, Jason?
Oh, Emu, hi.
John the Gamester81. Going on, John?
Yo, what's up, man? What's going on?
Not much. And Johnny the Johnny Millennium. What's going on, Johnny?
It's a new millennium. It's all good, man.
And tonight we are joined for our final, in quotations, User Appreciation Month episode with Andrew, who doesn't have a YouTube channel or anything like that, but he is a really cool guy who made a really awesome video that we definitely appreciated, and we wanted to bring him on. So what's up, Andrew?
Oh, thanks. Yep, just shot a short and sweet YouTube video for you. Not part of the community. That was my first video, but it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Andrew, I love the fact that you like games and you like Star Wars too.
Yeah.
No. Keep going. Keep talking about Star Wars. I want to say something big about Star Wars, actually.
Well, my brother got the Blu-rays for Christmas, and I really wanted to watch that Star Warriors you were talking about, but we didn't have a Blu-ray player at my parents' house. I haven't watched that yet. But yeah, been doing gaming in Star Wars since I was a wee lad, so it's been a long time. And now I'm 26, so and still love them, still going strong. So yeah.
What's your favorite movie? Favorite episode?
Probably either Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
They were just a lot of good action. So
No one likes the first ones. What's up with that?
Prequels?
episode 1 through 3.
Oh,
Or whatever.
Oh, we're talking about
I wonder if there's a person that exists out there that honestly likes episode 1 the most.
Yes.
There is people
There
like
is.
that. Yeah.
It's all about your age, Pete. So if you're
Exactly.
Okay, how about I rephrase that? Someone that's over 30 that likes episode 1 the most.
That's a good call.
Probably not. I saw a trailer today. It was funny. Some guy posted on my Facebook. It was Star Wars XXX. Have you seen this trailer? It's like a new porn movie coming out for Star Wars parody. It's hilarious.
I'd be in line for that shit.
I didn't see any kind of porn stuff. It just looked like it looked like Star Wars done. I don't know.
But they're not going to show shit on YouTube, of course. It's all that, but that's what it is. I mean, the guy's name's like Dick Durlong or whatever it's called. I don't know.
Dick Durlong.
Shit.
Yeah.
Slave Leia, she can play with my lightsaber any day.
The only thing I want to bring up about Star Wars here was that, John, it's so funny that the live action Star Wars is actually not completely dead.
I know. I saw that post, dude. I saw that.
You saw that, eh?
On IGN? Yeah, they're they have 50 scripts written for it.
Yeah.
The problem that they're dealing with right now is just finances and costs because their budget's like $5 million an episode, and
they can't make it for $5 million an episode.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be called, get this, Star Wars Underworld. Mm-hmm. And every time I say that, I think of Star Wars underwear. I don't know why I always think that.
The Underoos, dude.
That's what I think of.
You're right.
Yeah. Right on.
Too bad nobody won those. That would have been great.
But it's too bad. So they actually have 50 scripts written for the TV show. It's amazing, but I wonder if we'll ever see this happen.
It's supposed to be taking place between episode 3 and episode 4. So when Luke was growing up, and although it's not really supposed to be written about Luke and Leia, it's just kind of during that time frame. So be interesting.
Yeah. Just with all the bounty hunters and the assassins, smugglers, and all that stuff. That would be cool, eh, John?
Oh, it'd be awesome. I'd be in line for that shit.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
yeah, I guess they're still waiting for all to figure out, but it looks kind of like it's not really happening right now, but it's not completely dead. They did talk about it, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So speaking of Star Wars, Pete, you've been playing Old Republic?
An unhealthy amount of Old Republic, yes. It's, I started the first character, the Commando, and I think I've basically ended up retiring him because this game invests so much time in trying to put you as the character because, you know, this is an MMO where there's full-on cutscenes with voice acting with your character with 3 different choices for each interaction with an NPC. So you like really get invested with your character. So when I'm playing some trooper and the way that they want you to play him is like he obeys commands all the time and is always like the right officer in command, like stuff like that. So you always have to pick the really good option. So anytime you try and deviate from the path, you know, you don't get your light side points, which I'm working on to get like high tier items. So I didn't really like the way the commando story was playing out. So I switched to the smuggler and I've been enjoying that immensely. I'm starting to notice some of my one-liners, like for replies, are starting to repeat. But other than that, it's a world of a difference. Smuggler's storyline is awesome. A lot of people really like the dark side stories, though, supposedly. But I'm just not a dark side kind of guy, you know? Like, John, if you play, would you go light side or dark side?
I'll probably do dark side.
Supposedly they are really evil in this, though. Like, you can kill NPCs and stuff, so it's full on dark side.
Right on.
But yeah, I've been playing the game since like December 28th, I think. And right now I'm about 65 hours in between both characters.
Wow.
About to hit level 23 on my smuggler, who I spec'd into a scoundrel, and I respec myself to play as a healer. So I'm healing people, and this is the most fun I've ever had healing in an online RPG before, so it's actually a lot of fun.
Now, this game was like 3 or 4 years into development. You think it's worth the wait?
There's a lot of content in this game. I could definitely see why it took them this long because of all the voice acting, all the different ways the story can go. Just for example, like because I'm playing as a different class and even a different race, I'm playing as the Twi'lek race. So the guys with like the 2 long tentacles. Mm-hmm. Some interactions with some characters, they have different lines just because I chose a different race. So just that alone, I can see. But this is still, now I did not really play World of Warcraft at all besides a trial for like a week. But this is full on MMO. Like it's starting to wear on me now when you get to a new planet. Like I'm on the 3rd planet right now, Taris. And there's so many fucking fetch quests. It's unbelievable. Every time I finish one, you go back and there's like 6 more. And that's starting to wear on me a bit. The best part, though, is the class-based storyline, like the storyline that plays specifically to your character and your class. But other than that, it's like full-on MMO, which is not really a bad thing. It's just sometimes the solo stuff. I'm so used to Final Fantasy XI. People can't forget. I didn't really grow up playing WoW like a lot of people have for the past 6 or 7 plus years. Final Fantasy XI was all about, you couldn't do anything in that game without grouping and partying up with other people. So for me, playing MMOs like solo like this is kind of weird, you know?
Now, you can play with other people though if you wanted to?
You can. You're kind of forced into playing solo for the most part because most people won't group up on the quests that you're supposed to play by yourself. But they have flashpoints, which are basically, in the beginning of the game, it's 4-man groups, which the first flashpoint in the game, it's awesome because it's story-driven, and the people that you group up with can have an influence on how the story plays out. It's like an hour to hour and a half mission that you play that takes place on a ship that's getting attacked. And depending on their choices, you know, will change. It'll alter the course of what happens. In the end, though, you end up still fighting all the same bosses, but some characters may die, some characters might live. But the main problem is after you get done with that one awesome mission, the other ones that follow after that I've seen so far don't really follow that same awesome story narrative. It's more of like go into a dungeon, kill some bosses, kill some enemies, you know, get to this one interaction where it's like, do we kill this guy? Yes. Okay, let's kill him. And then that's it. There's no like nice story narrative to it. But one thing I'll say though, I can't wait to see the other planets in this game. Like I've been to Ord Mantell, which is the starting planet, and then Coruscant, which is an awesome like main hub city, obviously. And then right now I'm on Taris, which is like a ruined jungle forest kind of area. And I can't wait to see, you know, get to Hoth, which I've heard a lot of people don't like because it's kind of barren, but it's Hoth. So what do you expect? But so far I'm really enjoying it. You know, it's, I'm not addicted to it because I can easily put that game down and just play a different game, which I did a few times. A few times. But I highly recommend it to Star Wars fans, even people that have never played an MMO before, because the story will keep you playing. And you don't feel like you're alone so much because you have companions that you can summon. So think of it as KOTOR, only just one party member at a time.
I still have to play Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes, you do.
We had that growing up on Xbox, but my brothers were really the console gamers. I was more the handheld, staying classic. But I hear those games are awesome.
And fans of KOTOR, there's a lot of story and characters supposedly in this that carry over from those games, like the lore from it. So,
yeah, Knights of the Republic is classic. It's funny. I picked it up again a bunch of months back because we were talking about on the podcast with the Maids and Balloons guy, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta find my copy, and I ordered another copy of the game, and I put it in, and it holds up reasonably well. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna like it. To me, it's a classic, but I hate recommending classics, and somebody goes and plays it and goes, man, these graphics suck, So it's cheap. You can really pick it up for like $10. So
it's definitely a game you want to check out for sure.
Yeah, give it a shot. You can't lose for $10.
I think it's in our basement somewhere. So
go digging in the basement. It'll be worth it.
Yeah,
for sure.
May find some other gems in there too.
Oh, I just did the other week. I found a whole bag of like N64 and Super Nintendo boxes from back in the day that I hadn't realized my parents kept. So got my Earthbound and my Harvest Moon, Super Nintendo.
Get the hell out of here.
How good condition is your Earthbound box in?
Earthbound is faded. It came faded. I got it from a Blockbuster when I guess that game, didn't really do well when it was out. So they were selling it and picked that up. I don't have the scratch and sniff player's guide or the box, but the game in the box, I think I probably got for like $7 or something.
Now, Harvest Moon, do you have the manual for that too?
Yep.
That game's gone up a lot in value. I was still kicking myself when I went to the Too Many Games convention a few years ago. One of the sellers there was selling a complete copy of Harvest Moon on Super Nintendo for like $70. And it was literally like just as I'd walked in. So I'm like, nah, I'll save my money just in case I see anything else I want. And I went back like later on and it was gone. But that's because it's now on eBay. That game complete now goes for like $200.
Wow. Yeah, I think I saw the manual or the box itself were like $50 alone. So
the only problem with Harvest Moon on Super Nintendo though is that game, compared to others in the series, has not aged well at all, in my opinion, because the tool swapping mechanic is just, oh man, I can't bear it. Like the new Harvest Moons, you can just press a button to swap between tools. This one, you have to go run back to your shed, into your toolbox, and pull out a different tool, and then go back out. And then when you need another one,
two at the same time, or something like that.
I can't remember exactly because I don't really like to play that one because of that reason. So.
Can I ask you what your favorite Harvest Moon in the series is?
I'm not really like a Harvest Moon expert. I haven't played all of them in the series, but based on the ones I've played, I'd probably still have to say it's Save the Homeland.
I really liked the N64 one, and then I hadn't played one until I got Sunshine Islands for the DS and was not a fan of that. Sold that one back. So
yeah, I haven't played any of the ones on the regular DS because for the most part I heard they weren't that good. I just didn't feel like doing touch control motion bullshit to like pet my cow and shit. Like I just don't feel like doing it.
Oh, but it's so cute. Yeah, I didn't do that either.
And one of them, I think, was it the one you mentioned that has touch controls only, where everything you have to do is touch control?
No, I think this one was the one after that. You can use the D-pad, but the controls really were stupid. That was one thing that really frustrated me about it too. And you could like water plants 4 times and then pass out. So I really didn't feel like investing into that. But the N64 one was just classic. I loved the relationships you could build with everybody in the town and the big party at the end. And I don't know, that was just a great game.
The 64 one's really good. I should boot it back up.
You've played it recently, Pete.
Yeah, remember I was talking about that for like a couple episodes.
Yeah.
There was a time I was in a fraternity in college. There was a time when I lived in the house that I plugged the N64 version in on the big screen TV in the main room, and all of them were like, "What's this game? Farming? That can't be fun." A week later, different members of the house had it on their PS2, whatever one that was. We're all playing it and getting into it. So,
oh man,
that's funny.
I mean, it's the same type of phenomenon like with The Sims or like Animal Crossing.
You just have to experience it.
Yeah, it's something about that whole kind of sim thing. It really gets people.
It's one of those series, Harvest Moon, like taking care of crops and raising animals, which sounds boring to a lot of people, but I'm telling you, like anybody out there that's addicted to those Facebook games,
Farmville.
give Harvest Moon a try, because it's got that same kind of reward
Where
system.
it all began.
Yeah.
Guys, I've never ever played a Harvest Moon game ever, and I don't think I ever will. It's not.
I haven't either.
I'm not against them. If anybody who plays them and enjoys them, that's cool. I'm never against that kind of stuff, but I just never been drawn to them.
And I can tell, Johnny, I really don't think you would like them.
It's not that I don't think I probably would get some form of enjoyment. I'm not going to go, God, I hate this. I'm dying, but I don't know. It's not my thing. I don't think.
I don't know what drew me to it in the first place. I remember seeing it featured in Nintendo Power. I think I was like 6th grade or something like that. And for some reason, it was just like, whoa, that looks really cool. And showed it to people, and people were like, how is that going to be fun? So I got that on the same day I got my Virtual Boy, and still have them both. Yep. Virtual Boy for $25 when it was pretty much going out of style. So
yeah, man, they were unloading those things.
Yep.
I remember Blockbuster, they were basically giving them away, the rental units they had.
And now I have 2 games.
Oh, come on. You need more
Virtual Boy
games than that.
I bet you can guess one of them.
Mario Tennis, of course.
Yep.
Now, the other one, did you buy it yourself?
Yeah, I had, as soon as I got the Virtual Boy, of course, it came with Mario Tennis, and then I got the AC adapter through eBay maybe a couple years later, and I just got the other
Wario
game.
Land?
No.
Mario Clash?
No, but those are ones I was thinking about. I wanted one that I really felt like, virtual reality. Like it was 3D.
Oh, well, then you probably went with
Red Alert?
Yeah, Red Alert.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Teleroboxer sucks in 3D.
Wait, did you say Wario?
Thanks. That's exactly what I got, Pete.
Did you really?
Telrobox, which one?
Is it Telro or Telero?
Whichever you want to say.
It's Bar to Bar Boxer.
Tomato.
Yeah.
The boxing game on Virtual Boy with robots. It's Real Steel, the video game.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not a very good game.
No, I've never really gotten into like Super Punch Out, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, so I thought it'd be a place to start.
Oh,
but
dude.
I guess
it's not a terrible game. It's actually one of the only Virtual Boy games that uses the second D-pad on the controller.
Yeah, and it uses the controller well. And it uses the little back buttons too, shoulder buttons or whatever.
I'm telling you though, you need to get Wario Land, and everybody that's listening, for God's sake, get a Virtual Boy, please. And here's the thing: if you don't like it, you could always just resell it on eBay. Buy a Virtual Boy, get Mario Tennis,
It's worth
get Wario Land, get Mario Tennis, Wario Land, and
Mario Clash is good.
Well, yeah, I guess
it's like the original Mario Brothers arcade, but to the next level. It's pretty good.
Well, what differs Wario Land for the Virtual Boy from the like Game Boy Advance ones? Because it just seems like you can just jump back and forth.
That is about it. But if you enjoy the classic Wario Land games, it's that with the added 3D element.
Is it long?
Not really.
Yeah,
it's fairly short. But it's still one of the best games. Still, I think my favorite would probably be Mario Tennis. Still, though, that game is I love it.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I have it set up in my apartment when people come in. A lot of them, if they know what it is, they're like, "Oh, sweet, let's play it." And then some people have no idea what the Virtual Boy is, but I always have Mario Tennis on there to check out. So
the only problem with the Virtual Boys, and I'll just warn everybody,
the only problem,
the knob on the top where you adjust like the clarity. Don't keep moving that around, and try and keep it centered, because if you keep moving that shit around, eventually that's what gives the Game Boy like the glitchy graphic effects and stuff, which all of mine are starting to get now. So I've either got to buy a new one or literally open it up and bake the islands in the oven. to melt the contacts back down.
Wow.
Which is it's a strange method, but it supposedly works. So,
what's for dinner? Let's look in the oven. Oh, it's a Game Boy. Virtual Boy.
Hey, Pete, do you have Waterworld for the Virtual Boy?
I have all the US Virtual Boy games. Waterworld is pretty damn bad, though.
Terrible.
It's totally a collector's game. Like, don't pay the prices for that unless you're just collecting.
It's just like a high score game, right?
Yeah, it's got some decent 3D, though. It's actually got pretty good 3D, but the gameplay is just
oh my
boring.
God. Come on, Pete. Don't even give it that. The game's horrible. Horrible.
It's as bad as a movie.
Dude, it's like you sit there on this jet ski in the middle of Black Ocean and you just fucking ride around, and then like some red thing will come flying by you, and then it's gone. Then you try to turn, and that's about it. I mean, Pete, did I miss something? Because the game's not.
No, I really don't even play it too much because it's pretty bad. So I think you summed it up pretty well.
Yeah.
Can you pee and turn it into water and drink it?
Yeah,
I've seen that on survival shows before.
Yeah.
People like boil their piss and shit.
Yep, that's what Kevin well, he had some sort of contraption in the movie, but that's what he did.
Oh yeah, dry land.
And just to correct myself, it's not Red Alert. We were thinking of Command and Conquer. It's Red Alarm.
Red Alarm.
The 3D shooting game. That game's got some awesome 3D.
If you went and posted in the forums about that, please go delete it now.
Made a new account for it and everything. Mad Red Alarm fan.
I haven't even been on the forums, so are they pretty wild?
I think people are pretty respectful.
They're good.
It's good.
Cool.
It gets kind of crazy in there sometimes.
We have to watch what we say sometimes, because if we have some uncorrect information, some people get pretty mad sometimes.
Can I? I know I've been kind of quiet here. It's kind of funny. I was just looking at my YouTube inbox, and I got sent a message. I won't get into the details of the message, but it's kind of interesting because it has to do with the podcast. And some person, and I know they listen to the podcast, so I'm going to say hi, person. I guess they took it that I was bashing being a Final Fantasy VII basher.
Like, what, in your game fan video or something?
No. I've never said anything.
So the podcast.
In the podcast, yeah. I guess.
Well, there's a time when you said Final Fantasy VII fucking sucks.
Yeah.
The worst movie. Don't you remember saying that, Johnny? I think it was episode.
I don't know where he'd get that. He's reading it now.
Well, I saw on my Facebook today that it's Splatter Trigger's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
It will not be when this podcast is released, but it is today. So,
nice.
Happy birthday. Ed.
Yes, happy birthday.
We'll be running into Ed up at PAX East. He will be there Friday, I believe, with Spider 1A, which would be a lot of fun. Which I don't know, have we mentioned on the podcast, John, that we're both definitely going to PAX East now? We probably have.
We are. Well, I think I was like 99% sure before. Now I'm 100% sure I'll be there.
Cool. You'll get that hotel room. Sweet.
Yeah, I already paid for it.
Yeah.
So might as well use it, right? So.
Oh, that's terrible. So, John,
and then
your weekly segment of the show, Pandora, any news?
Oh, no.
No news, unfortunately. No.
I'm thinking the Vita is going to be out sooner.
Oh, yeah. I think probably the Vita 2 will be out before, this shit comes out. No update, Pete, unfortunately. So, but I do want to throw out there, though, if you guys are going to PAX, on Monday after PAX, I'll be going down to Fun Spot, New Hampshire. So hope you guys can join me down there. That'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And Fun Spot's like the world's largest arcade. So in case you guys don't know that.
Yep. From King of Kong, right?
Kong.
Yep. Hey, I watched Rockafire Explosion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? What'd you think?
Yeah. It was good. I actually recalled Showtime Pizza. I didn't think I had ever been there, but as soon as I saw those bears, right? Bear, I was like, it came back to me. Yeah, that's a crazy movie. That guy drank a lot of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jesus. Yeah.
Mountain Dew. Those things would be kind of cool to have, but they're kind of creepy to have too. Like they're just, I don't know. They're kind of creepy.
There's still one left.
I know, right?
Do you know how much do you think he charged for that?
Oh, probably $20,000-$30,000 or more. I bet you. Easy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Easy.
That was on a good Netflix night where I watched 3 movies in a row. It was
Nice.
awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
What else, guys? What else is going on?
I moved,
Yeah, that's cool.
and a lot of people probably have no idea because we're not missing an episode this time.
Right.
But yeah, it's like I'm going to do a little modified version of Love Talk, Jason Heine style, I guess, right? But
You have the love doctor to chip in and give you some advice.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I broke up with my girlfriend and I moved out and got my own place. And it's a little further south from John, from where we were. So, but it's great. I love it. I'm setting everything up here. I've got, my arcade games all out of the storage unit. They're all here in the living room along with my whole studio and my DJ stuff and all my PCs. And, it's great to have the space and set everything up the way that I've always wanted it. It's got to work a certain way, and I'm just really glad that it has. But so here I am, living the dream, having a good time. So, just want to give a big shout out to all my gamer girls out there. Or them kids that got them MILFs. You know what I mean?
Jason, you still got the context for that Xbox Live girl?
Yeah, I keep her on the side. But a lot of these girls. You see, the thing with these girls, Johnny, love doctor over there. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of these girls, they want to go. They want to go see Chip and Dale's dancers. They want to go do all that, and I'm like, you don't want to go do that. You got to just come hang out with the Jay Hine because I'm working on my dance. And I call this dance. I call it the whip and nail. It's really simple. I just whip it out and I nail them.
I could see how that could be effective.
Ba-doom-sh. So, anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks. Eeyore would say, thanks for noticing me.
So, yeah, I'm anxious to see a new pad, dude.
Yeah.
I understand you got your arcade set up and stuff and all that good stuff, huh?
Yep. So, I got a little upstairs loft. It's going to be, dedicated to all my display games, kind of the EMU review room up there. Pretty cool. And then I have the whole living room, which is just amazing. It's awesome. So
Jason.
Yes, sir.
Not to get into anything like too deep, but it was just time for you to move on in life, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was time. It's something with, it was a mutual thing. Just so everyone knows, it was a mutual thing. I'm still good friends with her. We've been together for 5 years, basically, and
that's a long time.
That is, and it's not. This isn't some sort of high school drama bullshit thing here. We're adults, and it's not like, oh, fuck you. Da, 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 da. It's just, it was time. And she's really busy with her work and her job. And, I'm doing my thing. And again, we're just like two different people, and you're right. It was just time. And we still talk and we're still good friends. And, but I'm excited to move on. I'm excited to, be on my own finally and do this. Cool. So it's good.
You're single and ready to mingle.
Oh, look at this guy. I love it.
Yeah. And Jason, I know you're a creative person and it's kind of nice to have your own space to be creative.
You're exactly right. Right. And for the longest time, I've been kind of confined to certain little areas. Since about 2008, when I moved down here to go to college, it's like I had a little tiny apartment and I couldn't be loud in there because of neighbors and I couldn't be creative and I was going to school. And then I moved to Colorado for a while and I had a little apartment there. And it's tough to be creative, as everyone knows, with gaming, I do gaming and of course, this great podcast and stuff, but I'm also a musician. I teach private drum lessons. I'm audio engineering. Obviously I do all that sort of thing. So yes, to be loud or to have my space to just be creative whenever it strikes me, that's really important to me. A lot of people a lot of people may want something in their life. Me, all I want is a space, an area.
Yeah.
And that's really important. So I'm glad that I have it now. And
it's all yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
You
have enough,
you start to get older and you start to realize it's really important,
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's brand new year now, right? It's 2012, so brand new everything,
Yeah, it's true. Excited for kind of a new start and starting over. So it's good and fresh. So
nice.
Good for you. Cool.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, sir.
To let you know, Pete is single.
Hey, I like Pete. I'm not saying anything about it. He's got a lot of games.
Got a lot of games.
Maybe if we live closer, shit.
Jason, I have 2 questions for you.
All right.
Okay, first question is, do you have enough room for the Rock and Fire Explosion band in your new place?
Family room, yes.
Okay. Second question is, did the whale move with you?
Oh, shit. Of course the whale moved with me. He's getting his whale on. But there's a problem. There's one problem. I don't know how long the whale will be here.
What?
I know. I'm just saying, I don't have a pool. I don't have a pool, you guys.
Andrew, take the whale away from
A couple of days ago.
Whales don't need water.
Look, this whole week I've been moving in here, and I went out back to see if he was out there, just chilling, whatever. And he wasn't there. And I was like, where the fuck is this whale? I started looking over the fences. He was a couple homes down splashing around in the neighbor's pool. So I thought, I don't have a pool.
You can't provide.
I mean, you know what they say? You know what they say? They say, a fish and a bird can fall in love, but where the hell are they going to live?
Yeah. Who the fuck says that?
I like it.
That's what I always say.
That's what somebody said.
That's what I
Jason, honestly, that kind of sounds a little fishy to me.
Oh, look at this guy. Happy 2012. It's a new you. You guys really didn't like my whip and nail joke? You guys are fucking tough. I thought that up. I was like, I'm going to, whatever.
How late were you up writing that? It was good.
Oh.
I'll laugh now, and then you can edit it in to after the joke.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Right on. Well, we wish you the best success, Jason, in your single adventures there. So.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's
more time to masturbate.
I actually have to put
loud as you want.
The tough thing I'm going to have to overcome is I have to actually put the frozen meal in the microwave now. So I'm not sure. There's a lot of buttons on the microwave. They say different numbers and they beep, and I don't know. I'm going to have to go figure that out.
The great thing about that is you can masturbate before you do it and after you do it.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. And no one will say shit about it.
Nobody will say shit about it, and you get a frozen meal in between. Life doesn't get better than that.
That's like a jack off sandwich.
Jack off sandwich. You're the main course.
Blah, 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 blah.
Or is it dessert?
This is going downhill quick. Okay.
Yeah.
No, maybe I'll do a room tour or something eventually, and you guys can see this crazy setup.
That's cool.
Yep.
There's a guy masturbating in the corner.
Who's that guy?
Check this guy out.
Look at this guy.
Speaking of checking this guy out, it's funny. I went to the P.O. box the other day, Jason.
Oh, thank Christ!
I did, and what did I get? I got a little package.
It's not much. It's.
Wait, you have a little package? We all do that.
Yeah.
Tell us something we don't know, John.
The strange thing is there was cum all over the packaging when I got it. I was like, oh, this must be from Jason's new place.
Jack off sandwich.
It's all up. And I want to say, thank you, Jason, for a copy of Wave Race on the N64.
Yeah.
That is nice.
It's actually cool to have the cartridge again. That's so cool.
Yeah, he talked about it. So
yeah. I only ever rented it back in the day. So I'm going to pull out my N64. It's going to be like the first time in 80 years, but I'm going to actually do that. I just want to play with the old, the analog sticks again and all that. It'll be interesting to play with that controller again. It's been so many years.
I think you'll have a good time with it. It's a great game.
Definitely.
It really holds up well, I think,
Yeah. Oh, no, definitely does. I told you I got a download copy on the Wii, and I couldn't believe how well it had held up.
Mm-hmm. True.
It was amazing. So maybe in the future we'll get a Wii U Wave Race.
Oh my God, I would I would love that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, and online or something. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. And so you could use the screen, right? And it's like it's pretending to splash water in your face. Wow. They've really been there. I'm kidding.
We turn on the webcams. I'm sitting there in just like my swim trunks. I'm like, I'm going to play Wave Race.
I think a 3DS version would be sweet.
They could do a lot with that on the 3DS. Yeah. They really could. With the depth perception, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like Pilot Wings, you know? It'd look kind of like that, I'm sure.
We were a Nintendo family growing up, and we never had a Wave Race game.
Oh, man. Have you played Wave Race?
I haven't, sadly.
Oh, man. You have a 64, right?
Yep.
Okay. Go buy that game.
I get on eBay. Let's see.
Seriously, it's like dirt cheap. You can probably even find that at like flea markets and shit. Mm-hmm. You know?
I work with kids, and one of them wanted to know what a N64 experience was like. So I lent him one of my N64s and a copy of Diddy Kong Racing. So I thought that was a pretty good representation of the system.
Nice. Yeah,
it is a good one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
The DS one of that, I wasn't a huge fan of. I didn't like the touchscreen races and stuff, but the N64 one's great. That was a lot of fun.
So, speaking of Mario Tennis, you guys were talking about that earlier. I read that in the this month's Nintendo Power, or maybe last month. It's been a while since I got the mail.
Mm-hmm.
That they're coming out with another Mario Tennis for the 3DS.
Oh, cool.
I'm completely blown away by that.
Yeah, who didn't see that coming?
Yeah, I know.
But that looks cool. You know, I've mentioned that before. I hate sports games, but I love Mario Tennis. So that ought to be fun. More and more reasons for me to get a 3DS. Haven't done it yet, but still, I need to.
Jason, did you ever like Virtual Tennis?
I really liked Virtua Fighter. Mm-hmm. Because I was really into Virtua Racing.
Yeah.
And it was, that early AM2 stuff. But no, I didn't really get too much into the Virtua Fighter series.
That's my favorite tennis game.
Or I mean Virtua Tennis. Yeah. They were awesome though. I mean, they just looked incredible, and the gameplay was good on them. I saw them in the arcades, just people going ape shit.
Yeah, it was good times. I played a little bit of the Mario Tennis. Like I don't know. I don't think I'd ever play another Mario Tennis though. I'd maybe play a Virtual Tennis game again. But
they're definitely multiplayer. You know. That's really where they shine. By yourself, they just, I don't know, they don't seem like any fun.
Did you play the updated one on the Wii with the motion controls?
Yeah, I didn't really care for it too much. I haven't.
You know what I was thinking, Jason, when you mentioned the how they released Wii Sports by itself for like the collection Wii game or whatever? Mm-hmm. Do you think that game would be rare one day since everybody has it and probably wouldn't buy that version?
Okay, wait. Which version?
The like the collectors, not collector's edition, like the
standalone,
whatever.
like the one they sell. Yeah, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, Jason. How like why they would sell it, and you're like because people buy used systems and they don't always have it unused, and so that's why people would get it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I do because it won't be available. It's not available, and then that edition won't be there. I do.
Yep. Wasn't sure. We got it packaged with our Wii, so
as did I, and so it's like it's it's kind of a rarity, I think.
Who knows? You never know with those things, I guess. What's going to be rare and whatnot. Yeah,
but you never thought Earthbound would be all that.
I would never have believed Earthbound would have been what it is. I still, as I say, I remember walking into the store. I've said this story before, but I'm seeing tons of them behind the counter. Tons of them. Who would have ever thought? And I remember getting my copy and then hearing that it didn't do well. And, it's like, what? Oh, okay. Well, I enjoyed it. And I thought I was like one of the only few people who did. And it seemed it had a massive cult audience. It still is. It's like a cult that love that game. A good cult. But still, who would have ever thought that? And we still haven't got Earthbound 3. Who would have? That doesn't make any sense. None of that shit does.
RPGs are a tough rental. That's a tough rental game because it's very time consuming, and you have to give it back typically. Unless you had awesome parents that let you keep renting it through the school week. Sometimes you did.
RPGs on consoles. Pete, what would you say about this? I'd say this, JRPGs on consoles, if it's coming to a slow grind now. It sure isn't what it used to be.
It isn't.
I was sitting the other day and I was like, man, I want to play a brand new console JRPG. And I was like, well, shit, what can I play? And just to, obviously we're going to bring up the news and stuff like that. That Final Fantasy 13-2 is actually the demos released today on PSN and Xbox Live tomorrow, which will be January 11th. So after this, I'm going to go pick that up and test that out.
It's out on 360.
Oh, it's out on 360 as well?
Yeah, because I booted it up today to check out what demos they had. I didn't download it though because I'm like, I don't want to spoil it. So I'm just going to be getting the game, so I'll just play it through that way.
But yeah, the days of JRPGs, not obviously on handhelds, they're still doing well. But man, on a console, I guess it's a lot of money to invest, and if you don't sell well, then you just lost out. So
but you look at games like Skyrim, and I mean a lot of
but they know shit like that is going to sell.
Yeah,
where the only console RPGs.
Those have proven. Just exactly what you're saying. Those have proven track records, where a Tales game isn't going to perform that well out here. It might do well in Japan, but not the numbers that they need, that they've invested into it. Sorry, Pete, continue on.
I was just going to say, like, the only kind of console RPGs that are coming out these days tend to be those, like, highly anime stylized games, like from, Gust is no longer. Now they got bought up by, I think it was, Koei, Namco, I don't know, someone bought out Gust, I forget who. But just like the Disgaea games and the Atelier games and stuff like that. That seems like it's the only console RPGs coming out at a steady pace anymore. I mean, when was the last time? I can't even really think of one. When was the last time an RPG came out that was similar to like Lost Odyssey on the consoles?
There hasn't been one. Wait a second. There was the Tales game. Oh my God. What was the last?
Well, Tales of Vesperia, but still,
that was basically it that I can think of. I really wish I could think of others here.
Star Ocean.
Yeah, I got that too. That's a long time ago now, though. That's like a couple of years, 3 years ago. Already, yeah. Like, it's funny. I saw a game the other day, Heroes of Ruin by Square Enix. And I was like, oh, cool. Wow, this looks great. And it's like, and I look at it, it looks like a great RPG, but again, it's on the 3DS. It's like, okay, cool. It's on the 3DS. I don't have a problem with that, but I would really like a console, RPG where I can sit on the couch again and really get into that. And God damn, it really pisses me off. It seems to me all the games that I grew up with enjoying, they don't make anymore. That's really seeming to be what's happening. First person shooters, there's a lot of those for people. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day at work, and I said, oh, what are you playing? He's like, oh, Modern Warfare 3. I said, oh, how you liking it? He said, oh, good. And then he said there was another first person shooter coming out. Oh, no, it's a really popular one. I can't remember what the fuck it is on PC.
Well, hold on. Before we get into that, let's not forget that Xenoblade will finally be getting that eventually.
Yes, exactly.
And that will probably fill the void for quite a while.
Yeah. No, but what I was saying to my friend, he's like, oh, I'm playing Modern Warfare 3. And then he was going to go off and play some other shooting game after that. I said, oh, yeah, that's cool. That's coming out. And I said, but don't you ever get sick of shooting games? And he's like, well, yeah, but it's like shooting games are like really the norm now. That's like the big game nowadays. Like the be all end all game. Everybody looks forward to the next shooter type of game. Doesn't it seem to you? Am I like, and I'm not saying, that's a bad thing, but I'm saying that seems to be the shift. JRPGs down, shooters up. It seems to be kind of the way things are going, and then everything else is kind of in between.
It just seems more like shooters, they have a much higher chance of selling well as long as they slap in some kind of online mode and hope it sells well.
Exactly, sure. And companies are doing that because it makes them money.
Look at Dead Island.
Yeah, what's
that shit? Yeah. Dead Island, that game made so much money that they could have never imagined.
Yeah, go figure, right?
But then you look at Catherine, a game that nobody ever expected to sell.
That's true.
No one ever expected Catherine to sell over 100,000 units, and that game sold like 500,000, no problem.
500,000 really screaming people out there playing that game.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I think I've mentioned this before. It's like And Johnny, no, I agree with you. It's almost like the quick, like hit it and quit it type of a game genre at the moment. With the shooters, there's just a flood of them, and I think that's a problem with people being they know they can sell them. You know what I mean?
But Jason, here I'll even
coming from a person who I do not get sick of shooters. I don't. I love them. So
Jason, that's what I was going to say for you. You being really into shooters, you invest into this. You will play these games over and over because it's an investment of fun. Right. You enjoy going back to it. You enjoy learning the levels and all of that. And so you get your money's worth by 10,000-fold. I understand, but still, I'm not against shooters by any means. I love shooters a lot. But man, if they ever taken over, that's all I'm saying, that they become so prominent.
I completely agree with you, and I honestly I wish they weren't as high up on the food chain as they are, like in that way. I wish they weren't. I mean, I remember when there was a game and it was a shooter, and then there was a game, it was an action game, and then there was an RPG, and then there was an arcade game. Like they were all separate. They all were equal as it felt. But now it's flooded, and you have the people out there who say, a shooter is a shooter. They're all the same. A person says you point a gun and you shoot it, and it all does the same thing. And then you have a person who says, the shooters are different because they have a different story, or the different weapons, or there's a different,
play
mechanics. Yeah, the gameplay is different. They all do different things, and that's how I look at it. I mean, I think every shooter, even in the Modern Warfare series, even in the Call of Duty series, I think they're all. That's kind of tough.
Yeah,
a lot of them are the same, but they all have a different. They all have different stories and different tactics to them in a way. So I will always pick up every Halo game that comes out. I love Halo. That's a great comparison. As some people would argue that all the Halos are the same, and I just think that's the furthest from the truth.
I know a Halo game you don't have.
Who, me?
2600.
Yep, Halo 2600.
Yeah, I absolutely know that. Yeah. I will live somehow. John has it for all of us, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, John's got it.
Speaking of Classic Gaming Expo, it's back this year. I bring that up because that's where I got it last time in 2010. That's the only place they sold it was Classic Gaming Expo. So it's in Vegas and it's in August. So I'm hipping that up. Jason, you want to go?
I'm down, dude. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do you go overnight or do you go for the day or what?
I'll go for the weekend, just like for a day or so.
Okay.
One night, and just up and down, and we're good to go.
Party.
You guys are lucky you live so close. That'd be so cool. But
it's a good time. It's a nice little community, and it's a good time.
I love Vegas,
I would go if I wasn't going to so many other conventions this year.
What are you going to, Pete?
Well, I mentioned it in the other shows, but Disney is the big thing.
Oh, Disney, exactly. Yeah.
At the end of May, June. And of course, PAX East, PAX Prime, and New York Comic Con. So it's quite a bit.
John, I was thinking about it the other day, and I really want to see this Disney Connect game.
Okay, right on.
I know we've mentioned it like every episode for the past 4 episodes, but I want to see it.
Yeah, right on. Come on over, dude. I'll show you.
Of it.
Get your corn dogs.
Hell yeah.
Let me get the churros, dude.
Dude, the people who have been to the park, you guys know what I'm talking about. Those corn dogs, it's in like a little wagon wheel cart. Although, okay, you go walk down Main Street. Okay, well, maybe this was a few years ago. You go down Main Street and it's on the right.
This Magic Kingdom.
Right around the little circle, the little loop-de-loop thing.
Yeah.
You walk to the right, just before Tomorrowland. And these corn dogs, they're a fucking foot long. And they're like $8 or $9, and they're just amazing. They're deep fried goodness.
Nice.
Do you need like mustard, or are they good without it?
Oh no, you gotta go. I go mustard, yeah. For sure.
Mustard ketchup.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's two things.
How big were they, Jason?
A foot long.
Foot long, you say?
Man.
Wow.
You ever seen a foot long?
I've never. No.
I mean, you say you go to Subway. This is nothing like that.
They call it a gamester dog. That's what the official Disney nickname for.
Nice.
No.
And it's probably like $10.
The two things I love getting at Disneyland when I'm there are two things. Churros, I love the churro stands. Yeah. They're everywhere. And there's the Dole Whip. You ever had a Dole Whip? It's if you're on the way, if you're walking to the park and you go to the left towards like the what's that, like Indiana Jones? What is that? Adventureland, whatever. Is that Adventureland? Yeah. It's like right there by the Tiki Room.
Is that MGM or whatever?
Well, this is the Disneyland. This is in California.
Yeah. Okay. There's a little hut there, right?
Yeah, there's a hut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they have this, what it is, it's like this dole, they make pineapples, whatever, grow pineapples. They have this like ice cream. It's a pineapple ice cream, like frozen yogurt. It's so good. It's called a Dole Whip.
I haven't had that.
Delish. So.
Delish.
Yeah, come on over, dude. I'll show you Disneyland. We'll go to Disneyland together. For sure.
All right. I like it.
You should record a video.
We should
do a video review.
I was going to do a review and post on my website only, but because I don't think whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
You don't want to upset anybody. Don't want to give them a wrong impression.
All my viewers, subscribers are like, "What the fuck?" So yeah, I might just do it on my website. But
no,
yeah,
fuck that. Disney's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Love it.
So, yeah, man.
Go ahead, John.
No, I was say, Jason, let's set up Classic Game Expo. It's at the Plaza Hotel.
Okay.
All right.
It's in August.
Yeah, it's Old Town, Uptown, like Vegas.
Dude, that's
there.
when PAX Prime is too.
No. Well, PAX Prime's in September. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Is it July, September? July, August, September.
I thought it was August. Okay.
Might be right. Oh, it's August 11th to 12th. When is PAX Prime?
Shit. I think
Prime 2012. And Jumbo Junkie's going to come to that.
Awesome.
what? PAX Prime?
No, he hates flying, dude.
What?
I thought he hated flying. Is he going? Jumbo Junkie.
I'm just bugging him. Yeah, I know he's listening to this, so I'm saying that. He'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
It's PAX East up. What's fucking PAX fucking Prime?
I thought it was August last year.
Yeah, it'll be August. I'm done again.
Party.
What about PAX East? What are the plans, guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Labor Day weekend. When is Labor Day? That's September. First weekend of September.
Oh
dude.
yeah. Well, either way, I'm definitely booking it through PAX, their website this time. God, that was such a freaking disaster last year.
Wow, we've learned.
PAX East is sold out 3 days too, by the way. So if you're listening,
you still have a chance to just buy 3 one-day tickets.
Like Pete did last year for PAX.
Yeah, for Prime, that fucking sucked. I should have just applied for the media. Save me $100.
You should. Yeah. Yeah, we should try to get something like that this year. Press passes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You need a business, like a business number. Like you have to own your own business to do it.
Yeah, they can phone me at home. I'll be like,
what do you have
hello,
to give
this
them?
is
Just like a
Johnny's
phone
business.
No, like not a phone number, like a business license number.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
I'll
when
make
you
up a
register
number.
for LLC.
5, 7, 2.
Like, they really won't accept you unless you have a business number.
I don't know if they're not going to accept you or not. I'm just saying what their site's requesting.
Hello, this is Johnny's Porn
You
Shack.
have a business card. You have to have a cover letter with your written head, with your logo and your letterhead on it.
Do the Game Chasers have that?
I don't know.
Because I don't know. Didn't they have passes or something?
Well, this was last year. This is new. These are new rules.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I thought they got it because of Retroware TV got them the.
yeah, I think Retroware TV to get them.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you guys having a meetup at PAX East? What's the whole deal? I remember you guys were doing it outside. You did it outside last year. You're doing it like inside this year.
I want to do it inside this year. Yeah. Have it inside, nice quiet corner.
Intimate.
Yeah.
With candle lights, we light some candles and maybe bring some poutine and have a.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Friday or Saturday we can meet up. I really don't know, but I can't wait, dude. I'm so stoked.
Well, I would say Friday only because Saturday, if someone's going Saturday, most likely they're probably doing the 3 days anyway. I know there's some people that are only going Friday. And that's like the first, I don't know. Well, then again, Friday, it would suck if like we held it like right when PAX opened, because then it's like everybody's looking to do something in there because it's the first day.
Yeah. That's too bad. Splatter Trigger can only make it for him and Spider 1A for Friday. Eh? That's
We're busy.
1 day is not enough.
It's not enough. I don't get it.
Even for East?
Yeah, East is... Yeah. I actually prefer East, the layout, compared to PAX. It's a lot easier to navigate, but you have to go at least 2 days. But that's not even, like... That's waiting on, like, 1 or 2 lines. Like, the place is just so massive. I can't wait for it, though. I'm pretty damn excited. It's just like a nice mini vacation, like just 3 days of video games. I mean, how can you ask for more, you know? No other worries. I mean, at least this time I'm not going to get trapped in a fucking hurricane, you know, and be stranded there for 2
that makes things exciting, Pete. Come on, you loved it.
Yeah, you got to hang out with Metal Jesus Rocks, right?
An extra like $700 that I didn't. Yeah, but that was awesome. Metal Jesus Rocks taking me around to the game stores. I mean, that was a lot of fun. Also, once again, made me spend more money. So I kind of like overspent myself because of those extra days I was stranded there. But and it was a lot of fun. It was an interesting experience, to say the least.
I think it'd be cool next year when we're up there again. We'll have to do another live recording of All Gen Gamers if we can, and we'll have to figure out where to do that though. So,
Definitely.
Cool.
That'd be a good one.
Tickets are on sale now, $20. Kids go free.
Hey, Johnny, when is the Vancouver Classic Gaming Expo?
Oh, am I going to get this wrong? It's March 17th, I believe.
Nice.
And Brian is fully in the planning stages of it right now. He's got everything organized, and now he's fine-tuning it and getting a lot more vendors there and stuff like that. So it's quite a big thing to put on. But the one cool thing is they serve beer all day.
Nice.
It's a fully licensed, huge place. It's actually like a giant auditorium for a comedy club, which may sound small, but this place is massively big.
Cool.
Type of thing.
About how do you know, Johnny, like about how many booths are going to be there?
I know that the place can hold 300 people. Now, you have to understand this is the very first one, right? But right now we believe that it'll be sold out in like a day or two. You know, type of thing. So, and people are going to come all day. The booths, Brian's talking to a lot of people, type of thing. So remember, this is like one of those grassroots things. This is the first one.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of laying the foundations down. But Brian's very good at organizing things. And I think, he's got the right people running things and doing things for him, and I think it'd be quite good. And I think Fraser's going to be there. I think me and Fraser are going to do a panel on like starting up your own YouTube show.
Nice.
I think that's something that we actually could say something about. Like if I was to do a show about a panel about the Happy Console Gamer, I don't think that'd be very good. I think our expertise could say, hey, this is what it's like. This is the ups and downs of putting yourself out there on the internet, and the positives, the negatives, the in between. Like, I know all of us could have a hell of a panel on that one day, just to talk about that kinds of stuff, and to help people out who really want to start new shows, and kind of help them learn where we kind of, maybe messed up in the beginning, or, maybe we're messing up now. Maybe they can learn off our mistakes. So we're slated to do that. I got to talk to Fraser about it, but hopefully that should be a pretty cool thing to do. I definitely get Rob on there as well. I was talking to him the other day. He's like, when is it? Because he's got 2 kids now. Hey, he's a very busy boy. So definitely. I was going to say, I think Metal Jesus Rocks is coming out for that one as well.
He is, yeah. I wonder how much travel is, because I would totally try and come up for that, if I didn't have all this other stuff going on.
Pete, I think it's the first one. I think it's a big expense for you to do. And I think everything else you're doing this year, stick to everything else you're doing this year first.
That does kind of seem like something for the locals only, because it's like you said, it's going to be small scale,
And that's the thing. It's small scale. There's no big vendors by EA there. There won't be. It's a bunch of local video game stores selling their merchandise, a bunch of panels, video game trivia, video game contests, video games, this and that. There'll be a lot of stuff going on. Like, there's something from 12 o'clock till 10 o'clock planned. Like, there's like 4 or 5 events going on all the time.
Is it just one day, Johnny?
One day. Yeah.
Okay.
One day. So,
is there a website you can refer people to, or information?
I'm going to type this in right now because I'm fully unprepared for your question. Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo. That's the first thing that shows up. Isn't that cool? If anybody wants to type in Google Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo, simple as that. Just type that in, and boom, you'll see everything in there. And March 17th, it is correct. and all that. And also, Retro City Rampage is going to be there. Brian's going to be showing his game, Retro City Rampage, which is really, really cool. A bunch of filmmakers in town. Mega Steakman. They actually have a show on YouTube, and they did a live action version of Pokemon, like a dark Pokemon short on YouTube, and it went huge. It went totally viral a few years back. Did you ever see that, Pete?
I did not. I don't think.
Jeez, I'll try to remember it later. But yeah, they do a lot of stuff for YouTube. They're going to be there, and and we're actually in the evening. This is cool. This is very exciting. They're actually having a nerd burlesque show.
I'm reading this. Geeks After Dark.
Geeks After, we actually go. It's run by a couple of friends of ours, and they're bringing that event to this one. And so a bunch of cute girls come up dressed up as video game characters and all that, and do a whole striptease to music and all that. Ooh. Very well done. Really nice lighting. Jason would have a boner. He'd really enjoy it. So it's gonna be something kind of cool. What's that?
Boner.
He'd have a good time. And so that's happening in the evening. And that's the cool thing is like after all that kind of stuff, I can just have a beer and sit down and watch some burlesque women, dressed up as video game characters. That's a great way to end an evening type of thing. So I'm excited for it. It's the first one. I think there's going to be some ups and downs with that. But that's like anything starting up brand new. But I think it'll be a fun day for anybody in town in Vancouver. You'll have a good time with it, but flying in from all over the country, maybe next year. Let's look up the kinks this year, and then we'll be good to go after that type of thing. So
sounds like fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
A lot of events this year, guys? Like all of us are going to different events. Yeah.
I want to go to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo too. That'd be sweet. Jason, you down for that? Because I know you have family up there.
Yeah, I couldn't do it last year, but I'm definitely doing it this year.
The one in Portland?
Yeah, in Portland.
Yeah. When is that? Because I could drive down to that. Is that?
Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, because if you guys go to that, I will drive down. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I can get a hotel for like a night or two. That's doable for me.
I got my whole family that live there now, so it's like.
Oh, good. We'll stay with them, Jason. That'll be fine.
Yeah, just shack on up.
Yeah, I will.
Party.
Yeah,
just bring your wave race. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. John's looking up dates.
Yeah. I wanted to go to E3, but it's literally happening the week that I'm in Disney. So I'm gonna when I get back to my hotel room at night, I'll be streaming like the E3 press conferences at Disney. That should be interesting. That'll be the first year ever where I'm not gonna be like watching live coverage of E3.
You know what? Did you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna book those days off for E3. I love the press conferences. I love them. Last year I thought it was really lame though. I wasn't that blown away. Last year, it was so overhyped that I was really let down. You know what? I blame myself for that because I hyped myself up so much, and I was just like, oh yeah, I guess I was disappointed with the Wii U. I guess I was disappointed with Nintendo showing.
I think that was what a lot of people were mad about. I know I was. I was really let down.
Hell no, Microsoft's. That was such a boring E3. Yeah, that E3 was just very underwhelming overall.
Yeah, I hate to be a basher of it, but I think I went in with so many expectations that E3 could not fulfill, and that's my fault. I even said that with my thoughts on Nintendo. I had read so much bullshit. I had made so many status updates going, oh my God, I think they're announcing the newest Mario on their next generation platform. I was so excited about it, all these rumors, and then, yeah, we just got this machine, and interesting machine. A novelty at best at this point because we haven't seen any games or anything for it. So
yeah,
my fault, definitely.
Hey, Johnny, it looks like it's going to be the end of September.
Okay. Do you know? Damn, is that September? The end of September.
That's when it hasn't been officially announced yet. That's when the last time was. It was September 24th and 25th, 26th.
Yeah.
So it's a couple weeks after PAX. It's kind of hard timing in that regard.
Oh, shit. Is it really?
Yeah.
That was the problem last year. That's why I didn't make it. It was too close and I couldn't do it.
I wish they would do it like in the middle of summer. I'd love to go. Did you know what I want to do, guys? And Jason, you've probably fucking done this. Okay, I really want to talk to you guys about this. What I would love to do is go down to Oregon. This is one of my fantasies, to go down to Oregon and go and visit the fucking Goonie house.
The Goonie house, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, I've still been there, done that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God damn it, give me that.
Dude, there's some good shit to do in Portland. There really is. There's awesome ground control arcade. There's a lot of cool retro shops. There's some stuff to do there.
I want to go down to, the Oregon coast. I'd love to go down this summer. That's what I said to Kim. I said, why don't we go do something like that? It's not expensive. We can just go and stay for like 3 days and just kind of hang out and enjoy the scenery and all that. So, yeah, I'll definitely talk to you when I'm thinking about doing that, Jason, because you know that place so well, right?
Yeah. You guys want to go to Seaside? Go to Seaside.
Yeah.
That's the place to go.
So you guys have been to the Goonie house?
Yeah, I mean it's there. You just drive by.
I'm easily awestruck by things, I think, and something like that. The Goonie house is just so cool and exciting. Did we just lose somebody?
No.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Just this second, I just looked at the screen and Andrew went, bonk. Bring Andrew back.
Hey, Johnny, I've been to, speaking of like Goonie house kind of deal, I've been to, in Southern California, I've been to the mall, Back to the Future Mall.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Where they filmed Back to the Future. Yeah, it's still standing. Still there.
Is JCPenney still there?
Yeah.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
Well, it might be,
JC.
I think it's
is it JCPenney in the background?
Yeah, there's JCPenney and there's another department store at Gold's Gym now. But like the signs are still there and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Like the barriers are still there, and it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I wanted to ask Andrew.
Like that.
I wanted to ask Andrew if you ever been to any like gaming conventions or if you plan to go to any of them.
I have not. No.
You got it.
Dude, they're amazing. You really ought to.
So it sounds like PAX is the place to go. Is that like, that's it? That's the pinnacle right there?
Well, are you East Coast or West Coast or where you?
I'm in DC, so.
Oh, okay. So East side is pretty reasonable.
Yep, go up to Boston.
I think the pinnacle is probably E3 because it's E3.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would still argue, I have not been to E3, but I would still argue that PAX would be the thing to go to because E3 is just, it's more of like invite stuff. You're not going to make it into the press conferences. You're not going to be able to play any games because all the press are going to be getting in line before you because they have to talk to the media. PAX is more for like us, where you get to just be with gamers instead of like all the journalists and the media and just play the games. I think PAX would be better to go to than E3 personally.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would agree. There's more interaction at PAX, I think.
I mean, like I said, I have not been to E3. I plan on going next year as long as I don't have any plans around that time. But I still think PAX would be the thing to go to.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
Yeah, no, watching all your videos are great. I mean, I feel like I'm there watching your videos you all post of PAX. Seems like a blast.
Yeah, we all do post quite a few.
Yeah.
That was a little bit too much. Even I was like, I can't post anymore.
Yeah, I think I did like 5 or 6, I mean, there's just so much going on.
They should just make a Connect game for it.
Oh, shit.
There you go. PAX Adventures, dude. I like it.
You can go East or Prime,
Or Prime. Dude, Andrew, you're onto something here.
Dude,
I'm
PAX
telling you
Adventures.
what.
It would be like Assassin's Creed. You're just like trying to wade through the crowd, trying to get to that start of the line. That's what it would be.
Sneaks through the line.
I think probably the most fun, honestly, going to these conventions is probably just meeting up with people from the YouTube community. And, because I've been to PAX Prime like 5 times. First time it was just my brother and I. So, even before I really had a YouTube channel. And just every year gets more fun because you know more people, and you have that common interest. So that's why I enjoy going. And it's awesome seeing these new games. It's awesome going to these panels. But it's really like the after party is like where it's at for me,
Yeah, totally.
So.
Is that pretty cool? Going to the meetups and meeting all the people that have like watched your videos and heard you on the podcast and just
dude, it's the trippiest thing when someone comes up to you and recognize you.
Yeah,
it's like the most wild thing, and they're like, "Hey, dude, yeah, it's games. I know your stuff." And I'm like, "Wow!" And it's pretty cool, especially when like I was at my day job. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast or not before, but I had a guy actually recognize me in the street with my day job, wearing my day job clothes and stuff, and it was like the weirdest thing. I'm like, oh yeah, what's up, man? You know, so it's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
To, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I was really looking forward, obviously, to coming on tonight because listening to you guys is like, you know, listen to friends talk about video games. But even just being on here, I'm like, whoa, these guys are on YouTube. I listen to these guys all the time. So it's been, it's crazy. But you're just all chill, average Joes.
Hey, we're average Joes, man. We all have the same common thing. We just, you know, we all like video games. That's all.
Yeah, and you know. Sorry, I won't say who or what, but yeah, there is some YouTube people out there. That do have some big egos. I'm telling you, that do have some big egos, and it's really sad. It's just really sad that they kind of go that direction. But they seem to. I think they've forgotten. Yeah, where it all kind of started from for them. But that's the way it goes. Big time.
Yeah. So hey, I posted a quick draw.
Wow, that's going old school, John.
Holy
Jesus.
shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Jason's not even prepared.
No, I don't even have my soundboard or anything, so I'll just do the old-fashioned way.
And we have, get this, guys. I posted it 34 minutes ago. We got 36 questions.
Holy shit, that's like a question a minute.
Oh, I see it. We are now recording episode 76. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start, and if you guys will just want to pick a question, we'll each pick a question. And Andrew, feel free to. Actually, Andrew, why don't you pick a question? You guys go first. You pick a question.
Oh, well, shucks. Okay. Let's see. I want to pick something that hasn't been answered before. So let me see. This might take some time. There's a lot. Some of these are pretty intense. Like, these people have been.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Really put a lot of thought into these.
Crazy.
Here's a good one. We'll kick it off. We say names.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Glenn asks, what is a game that when you first played it, you thought it was horrible, but has grown better through the years?
Oh shit.
Oh man.
That's fucking hard.
That is hard.
Oh, it's horrible. So it's grown on me over the years.
That's the problem. Like, usually if a game starts off horrible, I usually don't give it a second chance.
I'm the same way. I'm like, this is shit, done. You know?
Did you ever play Quest 64, Pete?
Yeah, that game. Oddly enough, because I played Quest back when I was just starting to get into RPGs. So at the time, I would take any kind of RPG I can get. And even then, I still really couldn't get in the Quest 64, Oddly enough, there is another Quest on Game Boy Color, I think, which has the same battle system and everything.
With like the parameter.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I haven't played that though. Jeez,
okay.
Terrible.
I got to say, this is going to be such a cop-out answer. Please forgive me because I have an excellent answer for this. But it's coming up in a video I'm going to put up in about a month. And it's such a fucking legendary story that I really don't want to speak.
Beyond the Beyond.
Fucking guy. Beyond the Beyond. Yeah. Yes, it is Beyond the Beyond.
I remember playing that game.
Oh, really? Wow. I was going to say.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Thanks a fucking lot.
I didn't even mean to guess the correct answer. Yeah.
That's... the story.
Actually, like that game now?
What's that? I'm not getting into it, but okay. I made a video talking about many things, and don't say a damn thing anymore because all the stuff I'm working on. So in the future, it's a good video. I think it shows some of my madness. So we'll leave it at that. But anyways, Jason, what is your choice?
I don't even know.
Jason, make a choice now.
Okay. Well, this is probably going to sound like a cop-out.
Oh, what a fucking guy.
I will say... Oh, God. Adventure Island?
You didn't like it to begin with? Screw you.
I mean, it was okay. But that actually kind of... I liked the music more than I liked anything about the game, to be honest with you. Is that bad?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
we don't like
shit, that is bad.
Worst guy ever.
I mean, I like it, I guess, but it's just not very fun. The controls are really sluggish, I remember, and I thought the music was great. I remember just pausing the game, listening to the music in each level. Because I couldn't really, play the game all that much. So does that work? I mean, that's half and half. I love the music, don't really care for the game all that much.
Oh, sure.
All right, whatever.
I got the perfect answer. And this is going to sound strange to people. My answer would be Final Fantasy VII, because when I first played that game, I couldn't understand what the hell was going on. Because it was one of my...
Pete?
I don't remember exactly how old I was, but let's just say it was my first RPG besides Pokemon. So I'm
you're
like...
6 years old?
No. I was probably about 10 or 11.
10 or 11. Wow.
Yeah. So I was playing and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, I love the setting and everything like that and the music, but I didn't like the game at first. So I revisited it about like 6 months to a year later, and I was hooked once I understood what the hell was going on.
That's good. That's a good one.
I've got one.
Okay.
And it took me a while to think of one, but Back to the Future for the NES.
Really?
It grew on you?
It kind of grew on me, man. When you're collecting those, like, the time clocks and stuff, and then the stage where you have to avoid the guy throwing shit at you. I don't know. It's just like, it's a bad, terrible game, but it kind of grew on me. I love Back to the Future. So that's my pick.
Who hasn't answered this question?
I can't think of anything. Shouldn't have asked it.
Why you asked a question that you can't even answer?
Is that? Oh, I didn't know that was criteria.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's
say Harvest Moon.
Oh, I that was love at first sight. There.
Superman 64.
As much as I like flying through rings, no, I like
E.T. 2600.
What?
E.T.
E.T. No, never played that one. What came to mind was Circus Charlie on the arcade. I think this was on Nintendo too. It was an old Konami game where you're just like a circus clown. You ever play that?
Oh, is that what system is that for?
I know it was on my friend's Famicom, which had like 100 games in one, but it was also an arcade game.
Is that where you jump like from platform to platform and jump over lines and through rings and hoops?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Stuff?
Yeah, there's trapeze with monkeys and then a lion. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. It's called. I had that on like a 182 in one cart.
Yeah, exactly.
It was called Circus Jamboree, I think, is what I remember.
Oh, okay.
But maybe it's a different name. But yeah, awesome. I love that game.
It was Circus Charlie, and it was just so dumb, but you just couldn't stop playing.
Yeah, the tightrope one where you jump over monkeys and
there's that blue monkey that was a little faster.
Where you're on the beach ball and you're supposed to like jump through fire rope. Like, is that right? Like there's like a loops.
That's
with
exactly
fire rings. Yeah, yeah. Classic. God, that brings me back. That's funny.
Yeah, that was on I didn't pick it up. There's a DS game for Konami Classics that has the arcade version of Contra. It also has that and a game called Puyon that I remember playing on emulator back in the day. And those were all fun, really odd games, but those were good classics.
Nice.
Yep. But I guess that's my answer. Hopefully I'll have a better answer for the next questions. So who's next?
I got a good question here. This is from Joe Minnick. He has 2 questions, but this is his first one. What's the most trippy or just plain weird game you've ever played? So people know me. I love my trippy kind of weird ass games. And the one that sprang to my mind was Space Giraffe on Xbox 360. That has to be probably the craziest game I've ever played in terms of visuals and just sound design and what the hell is going on. And if you're on YouTube or something right now, just Google Space Giraffe Xbox 360 and you'll see what I mean. But it kind of plays, it's by Jeff Minter, who is the creator, or he worked on Tempest 2000 on Jaguar. He's also done a couple of new iOS games like Goat Up. But he works on very trippy kind of weird games. And the whole time you play this game, you've got, I forget who it is, but it's like got the silhouette of this bald guy in the background, and there's goat noises constantly going off with your attacks, and it plays like a Tempest game, sort of, with a combo system to it. I actually find the game extremely enjoyable, a lot of fun, but the visuals are what kill it for a lot of people because they're so over the top and like flashy that half the time you can't even see what the hell's going on. So I love that game. I think it's a lot of fun, but what about you guys?
That's hard.
I got mine.
Go for it.
Game Boy camera. Those weird faces that just like the screens just shoot up and there's just like bizarre people that like are just crazy, totally random. That was a weird game.
Yeah, and all of it's, Game Boy Glory graphics. It's weird,
like, do we mean like trippy that you had to be on like some drug or something? Like, whoa, man.
Trippy or weird, right?
Yeah, trippy or weird. That's a good one.
Yeah, that was.
I would go. It's a 3DO game. Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. The game is absolutely terrible, but it's kind of trippy too. Just like the acting is terrible. You think that there's going to be like, you're hoping for a happy ending at the end, and it just doesn't even happen. So it's horrible. So that's my pick.
I think for myself, I'll say there's a lot of trippy games out there. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but one game that was weird but delightfully cool was Seaman.
Yeah.
Anybody remember that game?
Yep. Oh, totally.
I still have never played that game. I'd love to, though.
You have to get that game. I love the game. Totally. I finished that fucking game. I won't tell you what the ending is, obviously, but it's so strange. It's basically you're running an underwater aquarium, basically, and you hatch a new form of life. It's like a half fish, half man. And the weird thing is throughout the entire game, you ask it questions. It asks you questions. And then your conversations with it. Yeah, because it comes with a microphone. Game actually has a microphone. And over time, it develops a relationship with you. It's just bizarre. I remember my mother came over and the fish started talking to me, right? And my mom was like, what the hell is this? She was like totally scared by it. You know what I mean? She was like, it just really spooked her. She just thought it was the weirdest thing, how I'm talking to this fish in my television. And I'm like, Mom, don't say that. I'll hear you.
It eventually gets like a human face on it, so I can imagine that.
It comes to that pretty soon after they hatch. just your temperature and all that. But anyways, that's my pick.
That's a good one.
Fun one.
I got one. You guys probably have never heard of it. And if you have, you definitely don't own it. You guys ever heard of it's a 3DO game, John, taken after the 3DO.
Hold on, don't say it, Jason.
Okay.
Cyberdillo.
No?
Okay, anybody that I don't own this game, but I want it really bad. If you want to see a very trippy first-person shooter, Google search on YouTube Cyberdillo, like armadillo, Cyberdillo. The game looks insane.
Pete, this is Jason's time to talk.
Okay, go ahead, Jason.
Any other guesses, Pete?
Really trippy game on 3DO?
Or weird?
Okay, give me a hint.
Weird.
It's for 3DO. You already know that. Another hint would be it's a children's game.
Is that a theme park game?
Not like no, you don't have the Woody Woodpecker.
Nope. Well, I mean,
because those aren't really games.
I was thinking about the fucking
children's game.
Children's game.
Well, what kind of genre?
Learning.
Yeah. Is this some kind of like Sesame Street game or what?
No, it's not a Sesame Street game.
Berenstain Bears.
Oh, he's Andrew's on to something.
Oh,
very close.
Ooh.
It's like the Berenstain Bears.
Well, the animal's right.
a bear.
It's a bear.
Is it a famous bear?
No.
Sticky Bear?
No, it's not a famous bear. I'll be surprised if you guys even heard of this game. What?
I said I don't pay attention to the learning software.
Yeah, no,
Why not? You might learn something.
Mario is missing. Great game.
All right, I'm just going to tell you. You guys are never going to guess it.
What is it?
Fatty Bear's Birthday Surprise.
Oh, of course. Duh.
You guys know of it? You know of it, Andrew?
No, I don't know.
No.
Oh, okay.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so
Fatty Bear's Fun Pack. Is that it?
That was a different game. Okay, so there's this character called Fatty Bear. And,
fatty? Like fatty?
Like fatty. Fatty.
What is that?
Yeah, learning. Here, look at this fat ass over here. kids. Anyway, it's called Fatty Bear's Birthday Surprise, and I'm just looking at the box again here, and the box says here, Fatty Bear's Birthday Surprise is an adventure genre designed specifically for children. Children enhance problem-solving skills while happily exploring Fatty Bear's world.
Yeah.
So,
this is the same creator of like Freddy Fish and Putt Putt.
Yeah. So basically, I own this game. And I played it with my brother and a bunch of friends a long time ago. And you're this bear, and you have like Matilda Rabbit, and you have all these other little animals that help you put together this birthday party, and you have to solve problems, and you have to find the dog bone, and it's in the fridge. I don't know why the fuck they'd put it in the fridge, but it's there. It's just all this crazy stuff going on. So it was the most messed up, trippy, and weird game I think I've ever played.
So like point and click.
It's kind of like point and click, from what I remember, yeah. So Fatty Bear's Birthday Surprise. If any of you ever played it on 3DO, let me know.
Pete, go get that shit. Get in line for that shit.
Nah, that's one thing I won't be adding to my collection.
Why not?
Well, unless I eventually go for a complete collection, but
look,
those kind of titles will be last.
I will tell you, it's worth getting just to listen to the horrible voice acting.
Yes.
You know, it's pretty good.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, that's mine.
Cool.
Fatty Bear.
Everyone answer?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. No,
Do we need
I
a
got
question?
one. I have a question right here. This is from Alexander Jones. What NES game would you like to see remade as a 3D classic on the 3DS eShop?
Sorry, what was the question?
What NES game would you like to see remade as a 3D classic on the 3DS eShop? So not like what would you like to see? Like, we answered this question kind of before, where we asked what game would you like to see back. This is kind of what would you like to see
ported.
Like ported. There you go.
Yeah, I know exactly what I want, and it's a game that I have not played. That's because it never came out in the US. But after playing Trip World, I want a game called Mr. Gimmick to be ported over. It's a game that only came out in Japan, I believe, and it's supposed to be one of the hardest NES games, but also one of the best looking. But the platforming in this game is like so pinpoint. You have to be so precise with your jumps. But after playing Trip World on the Game Boy, I did a whole review on it. This is from the same developers, and it really looks awesome to me. There is a reproduction I can buy of it, but
there is.
Cool to have it on the
Mine's an easy one. I hope you played this game. Crystalis on the NES. A 3D conversion of that would be fucking excellent.
Nice.
I have not played Crystalis.
What? Have you heard of it?
Oh, I have it.
Okay. He has it, but he's never played it.
I've got one. Space Harrier.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
That'd be awesome in 3D.
It is in 3D.
On the Master System.
Ported to the 3DS.
Yeah. I guess you could do it right away.
Yeah.
And mine, RC Pro-Am.
Yeah,
Nice.
that'd be sweet.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I think I would probably pick Contra just for the tunnel levels. I think those look pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Exactly.
Just gotta answer that one.
We nailed that one.
That.
Okay, I'll ask one. Alex, video game fan, asks, what is your favorite downloadable game on the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live Arcade?
I know exactly what it is.
Well, you know what mine is?
I'll give an answer for
Can we do DSiWare too?
Well, I know my answer is too. Yeah.
Sure. DSi, whatever. Yeah. All right, Pete, go ahead since you're all over that shit.
All right, so for PSN, without a doubt, it is Flower. Love that game.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys played Flower?
Yeah, I have.
No, I haven't.
Jason.
Remember you did the review on it back in the day?
Yeah, that game.
Yeah.
One of the best games you can get on the PS3. It's very simple. You play as a goddamn flower petal, and you fly through the meadows.
It's really trippy. That's a trippy game. That's another game that's trippy.
It is, but the story to it, believe it or not, the story in this game, it's so... There is no story, but the tale it tells, like through the environment you go through, by the time you get to the end of that game, you're like, wow, what the F is going on here? It really gets trippy towards the end of it, but it's an amazing game. And it all uses the 6-axis, so you have to, and it really works. You steer the flower petal around through the metals, and you collect other flower petals, and It's a lot of fun. And on the 360, because I already did a top 50 Xbox Live Arcade game list, I don't think any game has trumped it thus far. It's probably my most played 360 game on the Xbox Live Arcade without a doubt, and that's the original Bomberman Live Arcade. Unfortunately,
oh come on,
the second one, you know, I know you guys don't like it, and I can agree with you because the thing that I loved about the Bomberman Live Arcade, the first one, is it had the top-down view, and then the new one, I forget what they even call it, some bullshit, but it don't even matter because they don't have the top-down view, they only have isometric view, and it totally like throws off your judgment of where to place the bombs and like how to dodge them. And, you know, when you've invested like hundreds of hours into the original, it kind of threw me off. But I used to play that game online like nonstop, top of the leaderboards. Love that game.
I gotta say, Guardian Heroes without even a second thought. That was such an excellent game.
I would love to play that game. I'm a big beat 'em up fan, and you
really do have to play it. So the remake is so excellent. It is so good. It's funny. Me and Rob played the Saturn version a couple of probably about a year and a half ago, and I came away thinking, man, it's a good game, but the controls aren't as good as I remember them to be. They weren't bad, but they weren't as good as I remember. Man, playing on the Xbox controller was just a dream. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, yeah, really great music. Still holds up. Pete, you got to say the music in that game still is excellent.
The menu theme, like in the multiplayer battles, is unbelievable. The best menu music I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It still holds up so well, that game. So well. And you know, I know it's not hokey. I've never said it, but back in the olden days, I went to Rob's house and his brother rented it. And I sat down on the couch and I was drinking some beer. I was like in my early 20s. And I just sat there and I was watching the game. And I didn't own a Sega Saturn at the time. I didn't, own for years to come. But I knew at that time that this game was something very special. I knew it even then, before the internet or anything like that. I was sitting there going, this game is fucking excellent. You just kind of knew, and it still is excellent all these years later. So
the thing about that game that kind of surprised me when I started playing it for the first time on Live Arcade was that it's like a fighting game with the combo system. Like, it's not your typical beat 'em up where it's just like mash the A button, B button. There are move lists for each of the characters, and it's ridiculous. And then in the Live Arcade version, which is awesome, you can do up to 12 player battles, which is just chaos. It's unbelievable.
Chaos. Yeah.
But every character, like, you can play as bosses, and they even let you play as the NPCs.
Yeah. The coughing old man is always.
Yeah. It's crazy, but they all have like their own moves, so it's really something else. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
And Pete, one thing honestly I can honestly say about the game is that when you get good at the characters, you can get really good at the characters. When you learn the moves, like, you can definitely juggle. And I remember talking about it in the review we did, but I remember me and Rob were rushing to get the gameplay footage. And it's funny, when I sat down and really, really played the game again on this Xbox Live thing, man, I got back to where I used to be at, with that game. And just juggling characters, keeping them in the air, and then, so much fun. You can become very good at that game when you learn the characters really well.
When I was playing people online, they were kicking my ass as that little, I forget his name, but the little kid, like one of the 4 playable characters, the wizard kid. Man, they can destroy you with that kid.
Oh, yeah. I just use a ninja guy and go up in the air and go, Akrendi, and come back down. And I know the cheap moves with him to fucking really fuck people up. But anyways, that's my answer.
All right, so mine.
Go for it.
Definitely a game of tennis, aka Laggy Pong.
You just stole mine.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't have it. It's your answer, but
you know what? That can be yours. That can be yours.
No, it's okay.
Because I was just kidding.
Wait, Andrew, have you actually downloaded a game of tennis?
No, I don't have my roommate has a PS3, but I don't have a Xbox 360 or PS3, so don't have PSN or
that game's
Xbox Live.
Pretty laggy,
But I've heard you talk about it, and I know I'd like it.
The square ball, would go right through the paddle.
That's the best part. You never know if you're gonna hit.
You never know what the gameplay will be. It's just a beautiful. That's a key to success right there. No, but really, on Xbox, it definitely is going to have to be. I mean, I love Hydro Thunder Hurricane.
Who did that one come? Yeah, it's a really good game.
I mean, it really is. I mean, I know I talk about it a lot and I love playing it, but
it's deserving of the praise.
It really is. They did a fantastic job, and I hope that they do another one or use the same game engine with something.
It's a shame they didn't release more DLC for that. I agree. More tracks or something.
Yeah, even that I'd be happy with. So I'm going to definitely go with that one. Daytona USA is also a noteworthy mention.
Mm-hmm.
So Sega love there.
Yeah, sweet.
For myself, I'd probably go with Maze of Balloons.
Kiterling, woot woot.
What? No, even that's a good game, but I would have to probably say I agree with Jason. Hydro Thunder Hurricane's a classic one. I'm really enjoying the Burger Time World Tour. Been playing that quite a bit lately.
It's a good review.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, those have been kind of two I've been playing. Oh, I also like Perfect Dark, the remake.
Yeah, that's good too. That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
sweet. Very nice.
Number picks.
Okay, I'll do a real quick one here.
Go for it.
Okay, easy one. We can just shoot around and do this real quick. Okay, best Street Fighter character. I'll say from me, Ken. Jason.
Guile, because of his hair. What?
Oh, fuck yeah. Gamester.
Ryu.
Pete.
Blanca, only because he always reminded me. I love monsters, so I had to pick the character that looked most like a monster.
Very nice. Andrew.
Dalsim growing up and Sakura now.
Oh, the schoolgirl fetish had to kick in.
No one said Chun-Li.
I would have thought just want to say Chun-Li.
Well, yeah. Yatta. Man, those thighs.
I mean, bouncy. So I had to do it.
Those thighs, thunder thighs.
Did you ever pick up that? Did you ever pick up that pregnant Chun-Li statue, Jason?
I had to Google that when you guys started talking.
The pregnant Chun-Li.
Don't mention it. I didn't do anything with it.
Not yet, anyways.
It's in my room.
Oh, fuck.
Well, that's a Wales quick draw. Did we all do one? We did, right?
We did.
So that's our Wales quick draw. And for all of our new listeners, it's been like 4 months since we've done one. So what we do, follow us on our Facebook page because
they're probably like, why is Jason making these crazy?
Nobody knows, because we get a lot of new listeners every week. So I gotta mention it. On our Facebook page or All Gen Gamers podcast page, make sure to like us there because we do something every once in a while called the Wales quick draw. We just did it. Yay. Where we ask you guys to ask us a question and then we answer it just like we did. So, get involved, partake in the fun.
Might as well throw it out there too. If you have any audio questions, you can email those, MP3 or what other preferred format.
You know what? People send them all kinds of ways and then I have to settle the dust.
Okay.
So whatever you got.
Contact at allgengamers.com.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
All right.
Audio questions there.
Go to our forums at allgengamers.com. There's a link to our forums. You can ask questions there.
Speaking of the forums.
Uh-oh.
Yes. What's the update on the
battles? See, I got you this time. You didn't catch me off guard. All right, let me see here. Gamester's dog did win.
Dog pound? Motherfucker, woof.
So let's see the numbers on that.
Andrew. Oh, I guess Andrew doesn't go in the forums. You don't go to the forums, do you?
Andrew doesn't know.
Andrew's just an everyday guy,
I'm just listening to the podcast, kind of clueless to a lot of stuff, but I can go now. You can experience my first time with me.
Andrew, how did you discover All Gen Gamers? I'm curious.
Oh yeah.
That's a good question you got there. Well, I started out going on YouTube and I saw Retrocalypse's DS videos because that's kind of what I do now is DS gaming. And I saw him and Steph 2 Def, and they would start talking about you guys, Pete Dorr, and then Gamester and Johnny. And then when you guys started talking about your podcast through the YouTube videos, I think it was about a couple months. I think I started listening in October, but I was kind of in a podcast phase at that time too, starting to get into a lot of different ones, and just downloaded it, thought it was hilarious. Finally got to understand some of the running jokes, and just been listening ever since.
Did you start with episode 1?
Yeah, that was my question too.
No, I didn't, because the episode that I started on, you were really talking about how the first like 5 or so episodes were just really bad, so I didn't bother with it.
Well, some of our guests, it's definitely, especially our first episode, I'd probably say skip that, only because it's just so embarrassing.
Yeah,
but I would probably still listen to the one where we had Splatter Trigger and Spider 1A on, though, which is like episode 2 and 3, because we had some really great information come out of those guys. So
cool.
And we've had them on too. We've had them on again.
Yeah, we have. Well, not Spider. We got to get him back on.
Yeah, do you know what? I talked to Chris on the phone probably about a month ago. He definitely wants to come back on.
Because it's so funny because we brought them on and we like forced them into talking about.
I know. I was laughing to him about that. I said, "Hey, if we have you on again, it'd be a lot more."
I was asking him questions that he didn't even like. Random trivia questions. TurboGrafx, like what's the history of TurboGrafx? How many games are there?
Like episode 2 is a lot of people's favorite episode still after all this time.
What's the longest game you ever played?
Working designs and pinball, right?
Yeah, for sure.
TurboGrafx.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate you listening for sure.
Yeah, of course. Hey, I got a question, if that's okay.
Sure.
Oh no, hell no.
$5.
$5. Okay, I'll PayPal it to you.
Yeah.
In your course of doing YouTube videos, when do you feel like you really got your groove, like got into got comfortable and really felt good about the videos you were making? You can go back and watch them and like Pete says, not feel embarrassed by what you made. Like honestly, how many videos do you think it really took before you found your?
I'm still trying to find my groove. like honestly, like I watch my videos. I
think you need a 6th channel.
Yeah, there you go.
If he hasn't found it by now.
I think, maybe by like 10 episodes, I started really getting more comfortable in front of the camera and stuff. But yeah, I can't stand watching my earlier stuff. And like kind of similar to the podcast, like the first episode's brutal, but you live and learn, and you kind of, you have to kind of look at the positive and realize that while making YouTube videos, there's going to be people who hate no matter what. You could do the best video in the world, people are going to hate you. Not everyone, you get the 1% who do. So you can't let that bother you. You have to focus on the positive and just continue doing it because you have fun. That's my advice.
Right.
So.
I hope you guys still are having fun, because I mean, just speaking for me, I love listening to you guys every week, and I hope it's still like a passion that you always talk about.
Oh, definitely.
I know it's so much work and getting everybody together and doing this, but we appreciate it. So
Definitely.
It's worth the work,
Yeah.
It's still, I always get excited every time we got to record.
Cool.
Especially if we're bringing on a guest that
totally.
we haven't had on before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gaming, because the thing is we're not pretending that we like games or pretending to be people that we're not. We way before this podcast, way before the internet, we loved video games, and we love coming on. We love talking about video games. It's our passion. So it's something that we're always excited about.
Yeah, Johnny, I love hearing your stories. They just take me back to whenever you share stories with Rob Mann or talk about old gaming experiences. Those are really cool because I mean, since like the early 90s playing Game Boy, I just started kind of accumulating and playing games, and now looking back on them and having good stories about where I found certain ones and playing them for the first time. It's always good memories.
What's funny about that too is I remember just coming out of high school, and I was looking back on games that I played in high school. This is only like a year out of high school. I know it sounds so funny, but I was already nostalgic about some of those games I played like a couple of years earlier, and even back then. And I remember talking to some of my friends who are big gamers like Andrew, but like, oh man, I'm so nostalgic for that game. And he's like, who cares? What's the next big game? And I thought, man, maybe. And I always thought that nostalgia was some weird thing, just honestly, that only I had. Mm-hmm. Honestly. And it wasn't until I met Rob in our early 20s, and we'd sit around drinking beer on a night, and we put on The Legend of Zelda and just listening to opening music on the NES and go, oh man, I remember when I first played this game, and we felt that way. But still, it was at that time. It was only me and Rob. I didn't hang out with a lot of video gamers. I didn't know any video gamers, and I still felt like it was only a thing that me and Rob were into. That's why me and Rob really enjoyed hanging out over the years, because we could share those experiences. And then when I came onto YouTube, I was still scared about talking about that stuff. Thinking back to my friend Andrew who said, yeah, people don't care about fucking memories of video games. That's like, and he wasn't meaning, he didn't say it like that, but that's how I felt. I thought, well, people don't give a shit. I thought, well, but man, I don't want to start talking, going, oh, I love this whole thing. People are like, oh, I thought I'd be made fun of because I loved video games in the past. Oh, get over it, you fucking old man. Like that's what I was expecting to hear. So speaking of, did I find my niche? I found my niche on YouTube when I was able to finally be myself and say things that really meant something to me and to Rob. I think even for Rob, found his niche the same way as me. And that's how we found our thing, is that when we started being honest with the audience and our content, and it's hard to do. I wanted to do that since day one and I couldn't do it. It's something that even as John just said, you just find your own groove into. All of a sudden you just feel like, I think what I'm doing is right. And that's, go, yes, what I'm doing is awesome. You don't ever feel that way. You always feel a bit insecure about it. And I think it's always good to be a bit insecure about your work that you're doing. If you're fully confident, then you've already done it. Go home. What more have you got to do, right? At that point. Sorry, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely well said. I think a lot of people can relate to that situation a lot more than like my own. My story is a little bit different than most. Like my channel, like I planned it out. I really thought about it. I knew that I didn't want to have a channel where I'd look back on it and like be like, oh fuck, I can't watch it. So I really wanted to plan it out. And like with performing, like I've been performing in front of people and speaking in front of people and, being in front of crowds and stuff like since I was little. So like doing this related to gaming was just like, it was a perfect combination. I just loved it. Being able to talk with like my personality and then talking about games that I loved or going to events. It was really fun and exciting. And my format has been the same since I started it, like a review and talking about it, throwing some comedy, having some history, showing good quality videos. And that's what I really wanted to do from the start. And I think I really hit my stride, I think about 10 episodes in, and where I really was 100% confident and comfortable with, okay, this format is working. It works. I'm going to just keep going with it and, have fun with technology. And I think we can do a lot with technology now. And I just think it's great that we can utilize all this stuff. And, that's kind of where I started, just to plan out a format, plan out a way to review games and talk about stuff and use my technology to help me and just have fun. That's really all it's about. So
Pete, like here's a question to you. This is from me in general, but when did you feel that you hit your niche with it? When did you feel, because I know a lot of people out there can relate to this, when you first put yourself in front of a camera, I'll be honest, I'll speak. It was nerve-wracking. I didn't want to do it, but I did want to do it at the same time.
It's so funny because looking back on it, like I am not the kind of person, like years ago, if I would have ever told myself that I'm going to put myself on YouTube for like hundreds of thousands of people to watch, I would have been like, yeah, fuck it. That's not me. There's no way,
Yeah.
So looking back on it, like my earlier videos, it was kind of, I look very awkward, like when I'm talking to the camera, but the greatest thing about YouTube is how it's developed, like my speaking skills and like just public skills. Like even when I meet people in public now, it's like, it's a lot easier to talk to them because it's like, all I do on YouTube now is I know I'm talking to like thousands of people.
Yeah.
So totally. But I would have to say like, probably when I started reviewing individual games, because that's something I always wanted to do online. Like I tried many different avenues in the past, like writing for like Game Facts and just different websites, and it was always so hard to get people to actually like find the stuff and read it. So by the time I was posting reviews, and like even if it was 100 views, just the fact that I knew that 100 people, let's just even narrow that down, let's say 50 people finished watching it, knowing that 50 people had watched my review and opinion on a game, that was like, that meant so much to me. And I think my first review that I ever did for a single game, I'm looking back on it now, was Little Big Planet for the PlayStation 3. So I went on for 10 minutes about Little Big Planet. So yeah, I think as soon as I did my first review, I'm like, yeah, this is totally what I want to continue doing, just talking about games.
Yeah. It's funny that you say, it's funny, and I know we can all relate to this. The more you do it, the better at it you get. The more confident that you feel within yourself. And I don't mean an egotistical confidence. I mean something where you just feel good in front of the camera. You feel confident in front of the camera. And it relates, like I noticed that it had an impact on me when I'm at my job and, the HR people came to me and said, oh, Johnny, can you read out this thing to the building representing your department? And I'm like, what? Like, on short notice? We're talking in front of like 200 people on a microphone in a dark, huge lunchroom kind of thing. And it was so funny. I walked up and that's a different experience because you're used to looking at a camera and knowing that you're talking to quite a few people. But when you're standing there and then all the real people are staring back at you, it was really an experience. But I did okay. Was I fantastic? I don't think so. Did I get through it and do okay? Yeah, I did. I more than what I could have done when I was in grade 7. When I got in front of a group, I'd be like, yeah, and then the
exactly.
man stores. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to hate that shit in high school when I get called up and I'd have
picked on in class to talk. Oh
God, yeah.
I used to be. Do you know what? I remember I'd be the kid in class. I think maybe everybody was
sweating your ass. Oh, totally.
I was sweating. Don't call me. I'd be waiting for the bell to go and going, maybe I'll have enough time I can escape.
Oh, you know what? No, you know what the worst was? The worst is when you knew it was coming, like when the teacher would go down the row and it's like, okay, you're next, you're next, you're next. And then like, you're the next one. But then when you're done with it, you would like all eased off. Like,
you're like, yeah, look at me. I'm so badass.
Oh, my favorite is when like there was a school project that you had to do. And then, everybody takes like 10 minutes with their project. And then you're like the next person that's supposed to go. And then the class ends. You're like, yes.
But then you're the first next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Until next time.
But it's funny. It's funny when I got up in front of that large group of people, I didn't feel terrible. I felt nervous, but I didn't feel horrible. And do you know what? I came away from that going, man, I'd like to do that again. And I think, what it is that my biggest fear I can say in life, I think, was to speak in front of a large group of people, has always been to get in front of a camera and talk. I could never do that. So I think now that I've come a longer way with it, that I almost crave the challenge of overcoming something. And I don't sound like all fucking hokey here, but like when I did that speech, I thought, man, I want to do that again so I can get better at it, so I can beat my own worst kind of fear in a way. It's very fulfilling. And anybody out there who listens to us and they do their own videos, please, it does get better with time. Keep at it. Go watch my videos. Go look at what a fucking idiot I was when I first began. Seriously. And you know what? I'm totally, that's why I keep them up there, because they're I think they're learning lessons for everybody out there.
And I think that goes with anything that you do, YouTube videos or sports or your job or, anything. You just work hard at it, have fun with it, and you'll get better. And that's what it's about.
Totally.
Well, maybe you'll get a panel at PAX one day, and then you can speak in front of large crowds.
I don't know. I always see that's another thing. I'm like, nobody be interested. Would anybody care? I don't know.
I'd be in line.
We've talked about it.
I think in a few years' times, I think the shows are still a little, on the smaller side. But I think in time. We always say in a couple more years.
It'll be nerve-wracking, though. I'd be honest with you. Like to talk.
I don't know if I could deal with that shit.
Well, guys, I'm going to do my first panel at this retro gaming thing, and I said to Brian running, I said, I'll feel okay if we have a good topic, and if the thing is, I know Fraser will be there, and I'll be there. Rob will be there. Maybe all the rest of the Awesome Video Games guys will be there. That'd be cool. And we have an MC guy there. So as I find with panels, this is what I'm learning is that if you have an MC guy there, like, basically you you talk a little bit about who you are, and then, a little bit about what you do, and then a little bit about what you're going to talk about. And what we're going to talk about is like starting up your own YouTube show kind of thing. And then see if there's any questions from the audience. And if there is crickets, it goes back to the MC and he asks you questions. So it's never like, you're not just sitting there just talking out your ass.
Yeah, it really wouldn't be a big deal, really, guys.
No.
We would have a really good time. You think it'd be nerve-wracking, but honestly, if we all were up there next to each other, chilling out with our microphones, talking to people who are interested in what we have to say, really, we would have a good time. I know we would.
And I think you just play off each other, with
just like we do here. It would be no different.
4 people
than
up there, there'd be no real silence. I don't think.
I would just point and laugh at Jason all the time.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Just another day.
I'd love to do a live. I'd love to do a live love talk.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
I would love to fucking do that.
We should have next time we do a live All Gen Gamers episode, we should have a segment at the end.
Sure.
For love talk.
And then at the end of it all, I just do a live gig there and get your whale on live.
That would be fucking. Oh, Jason, that would be so cool.
It'd be a variety show. It'd be great.
I would close the show out with a live games I bought recently and try and break the world record.
He's there for 3
That's how we get
hours.
people to leave.
Skeletons in the crowd. People are dead. Pete's still talking.
Skeletons are in the audience.
Oh, see, it would be a great time. It really would be.
Hey, people are requesting the forums your segment to come back. They're wondering what's going on with your segment.
I know, and guess what? I have it prepared right now.
Nice.
Hit them up.
Hit it up.
So this is going back to November 8th. Now, see, the reason why I haven't done the segment in so long is because we tend to kind of go overboard sometimes on the show, and it's like, oh shit, we better end it. So yeah, that's my excuse. That's the best.
Except for when you do a 45-minute.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's totally.
Shit goes out the window.
Yeah.
So for people that might have forgotten, and I don't blame you, my segment is you go onto the forums and you tell me, you're looking for game recommendations. So you kind of tell me what you're looking for, what kind of genre you're into, whatever, anything it might be. And I do my best to recommend a game to you. So this one comes from Mikey's Monarch, and I'm kind of going to go against the grain here because he asks me, what is a game that has a great story and voice acting similar to Eco and Shadow of the Colossus? Now, the funny thing that I find about that is great story, yes, I can see, but great voice acting. The funniest thing is Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, both. First of all, the voice acting is in English, and there's hardly any of it. So I'm assuming he means a great story. I want a unique vibe from a game that entices me to play. I personally wish I can find one with some aura of spirit of Eco that keeps me wanting to play for the story. Modern games just don't do that for me, so it may have to be retro. Thanks. So I am not going to recommend a retro game to you because I honestly, going off of just Eco and Shadow of the Colossus alone, I couldn't recommend a retro game because those are just games onto themselves. But I will recommend 2 modern console games that I think are worthy of everybody playing that's looking for a good story with good voice acting. First of which is Enslaved Odyssey to the West. That is on Xbox 360 and PS3. It's developed by Ninja Theory, I believe. No, not Ninja Theory. They also worked on Heavenly Sword on the PS3. And it's a really great action adventure game that it's kind of light on the combat, but the voice acting is superb. The facial animations are insane. And the story really kept me driven to find out what happens. And no spoilers, but the ending in the game was kind of weird. A little bit disappointing for me personally, but I think the whole adventure through the entire game was totally worth it. Really gorgeous game too. Some of the graphics kind of play off of that eco vibe, in my opinion. And the second game I'd recommend to you is Nier, also available on the PS3 and 360. And both of these games you can get dirt cheap now. Nier has a very interesting universe and story to it. The gist of it is you play as Nier, who is trying to cure his daughter. She gets cursed by, I forget the exact thing that they call it. But she gets cursed by these black shadow creatures, and he goes on a quest to find the cure for her. But the universe of Nier, and the way you spell this game for anybody that might be trying to search for it, is Nier. It's a fusion of many different gameplay elements. So at some points in the game, it's actually a shoot 'em up, believe it or not. Some points it's a text-based adventure game. Other points it's your typical action beat 'em up, which is I'd say 85% of what the game is like. And other times you're in a town just talking to NPCs and trying to advance the story. But it's a very weird, very alien, very unique game that is best experienced from what people have told me. Playing through it 2 times, because the first time you play through the game, you have a perception of the enemies in the game, you have your own perception of, your quest and why you're destroying these things to find the cure. But then when you start a New Game Plus, it drops you off about halfway into the game. And the halfway point in Nier it's really the turning point because it really opens up the combat. It's almost like an entirely different game. And that's about 8 hours into the game. So I'd say stick it out for 8 hours if you can and see if you like it. But then I have not done this, but I kind of cheated a little bit and watched some cutscenes on YouTube of New Game Plus. And I have to say, very few other, I can't even think of a game that's done this, where New Game Plus opens up a second kind of storyline, a different perspective, which if I mention anything more on it, it would spoil it. So let me just say, finish Nier the first time through. It'll take you about 15, 20 hours maximum. And play through it again on New Game Plus. It's very interesting. And I'll eventually get around to doing it because most people, when they told me about Nier, I played it. Really good game, but I couldn't right away go back to New Game Plus right away because I just played the freaking game. And it wasn't that good to go through it again. So I'd say play it once and then give it about a year's time and go back and play New Game Plus. So, Johnny, I know you were talking about Nier. Did you ever get around to playing it?
I did. I went up and I was killing the sheep.
Right.
I was enjoying that, hacking them up, but I never went beyond that. I don't know what it was that turned me off with it a little bit. I was like,
it's not. There's a lot of gameplay element to it that's sort of like it could use some work. Some things are.
I watched you play it. I watched you stream it, and I was like, man, this game is awesome. And I kind of been awake, and I just thought it was you kind of finished the stage. I don't know why I kind of lived vicariously through you on that one. I actually watched you play that a little bit, basically all the streams that you did on that.
It takes a while for the game to click because it does try so many different gameplay styles and gameplay elements. Like it's so weird. Like when you enter a house in the game, it actually shifts into a 2D side-scrolling view. Sort of like think of, I don't know, name a game off the top of your head that does that, like an old school RPG, like may say.
Zelda 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking Valkyrie Profile, but going from 3D to 2D. That's unusual.
Yeah, just like that. So it plays off of all these different gameplay elements, and it's a very strange and a very weird game. But you have to get to you'll know exactly what point of the game it is too, because it does like a big time leap essentially, and it really changes the game up. The unfortunate thing is it's not hard to get into, but it's so different for the first half of the game that most people will lose interest.
So I should kind of go back to it, do you think?
It's the kind of game I think you'd really enjoy, especially where the story goes. It really is. It's something else. It's pretty good. And the music is phenomenal in that game. This is another thing I want to say about Nier. And I wholeheartedly stick by this. If Nier did not have the soundtrack it had, it wouldn't have been half the game it was. Mm-hmm. The soundtrack is really that good in this game that it enhances the gameplay that much. Because it really drives the mood of the characters in the story.
Yeah.
And people that have played the game will...
I've put my interest in it. To be honest with you, I've been doing a lot of, playing a lot of games lately for reviews and stuff. And it's stuff that I can't talk about, but I do have a bit of time for something right now like that. I got a lot of editing in my future here, but I'll pop it back in. There's this space for me now for something, so I'll give it a shot.
So yeah, Mikey's Monarch. I recommend you check out those two games if you haven't already. Because, there are modern games that can truly compel you to keep playing based on the story for sure.
Nice.
So I have a game for us to play real fast before I forget.
What?
All right, we're going to play Hangman, okay? So I tried something the other day. 6 letters. We'll let Jason go first. 6 letters. So we got the head, the body, left, right arm, and left and right leg.
Can I buy a vowel?
Hangman. What?
What's the category?
No category.
Okay. Well.
Are you going to give us a hint?
No.
What?
Okay, well, A.
It's a random 6...
Person, place, or thing?
A.
Okay, all right. I will give a hint. After. I don't want you to get it, though. All right. After every 2 letters, I will give a hint. So, A.
A.
There is no A, so the head is drawn. People at home can play along.
I'm playing.
E. E.
There is an E. It's the second letter.
It's a 6-letter word?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so the first hint would be Sweet.
Sweet.
Johnny.
Sweet?
Yes.
Did you say sweet?
Yes, sweet.
Can I buy a vowel?
Oh, sorry. Actually, E is the third letter.
No, you son of a bitch.
Take out your erasers. It's the third letter.
You bastard. I already had the second.
It's a very strange word. So
I'm using a pen.
A strange word, huh?
Okay, so what's your letter, Johnny?
F?
Nope. Andrew? So now we got the head and the body.
U.
No U. So now we have the left arm, body, and head.
What did Johnny guess? What letter?
Is it F? I said F.
F. Okay.
All right.
Is it Emberry?
John got it.
Oh,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
that's great.
So yeah, after you guys brought it up again a few episodes ago, I don't know how it came up again, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna buy this shit. So I went on eBay. It's on eBay because I figured I'd get it faster than the manufacturer.
Yeah.
And with shipping, it comes out to be $18, which is kind of pricey considering you only get 10 tablets. So it's
That's good. Don't worry about it. That's great.
it's worth it. Like,
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, I don't know why I haven't gone and bought some. Like, that stuff was so legendary.
no. So here's the thing.
No. Hold on. Time out. Johnny was so skeptical of this shit.
Yeah.
Super skeptical. And Terrence and I were like fucking around with it. And he's like, no, I don't want it. No, this is stupid. And
I just thought they
finally,
were being fucking drama queens. I'm like, oh, shut up. That peach tastes so unbelievable, or that watermelon. Yeah. Oh, that lemon. It was that lemon. This lemon is delectable. I'm like, oh, I'd never seen such reactions like that. So it was really mystifying. But I'm telling you, when I fucking took the tablet and I started fucking eating the shit, it was unbelievable.
Now, let me ask you: when you took the tablet, did it just dissolve on your tongue, or did you have to kind of move it around a little?
Oh
bit?
Yeah, you can do that too.
Okay, all right, just
You keep it on your tongue.
And then how was the Emberry?
So I kind of made a big preparation for it. I went out, got some raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, tomatoes, oranges, apples, pineapple.
Pineapple is delicious.
like a sugar bomb.
Now, I haven't had the pineapple yet, but the first night I tried. Now what I should have done first was tried the strawberry first, and then
Thrown a party.
just to see what the difference. But anyway, so I started with the strawberry. No, wait, was it the strawberry? Yes, it was the strawberry. And oh my god, like those were the most delicious strawberries and raspberries and blackberries ever.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, Emberry should be calling
literally-
us up. We've been fucking helping them out.
It literally does like any kind of, because I can tell they weren't completely ripe, so they should have tasted a little bit bitter and sour.
Yeah.
But when this thing turns it into like just luscious candy.
Hey, Pete, do a lemon. Do a sour.
Here's what I did. I also
Grapefruit.
I bought lemons and limes too, but I'm saving those so just to see, because I'm not sure how long it's supposed to last on your tongue. I started eating like chocolate and shit too, and I don't know. It tasted very sweet, the chocolate, which probably is not the most optimal thing to try. But I took lemon juice, like the concentrated lemon juice in the little bottles, the lime bottles, and I tried that. And normally that stuff makes you like kind of like it's very sour.
Yeah.
It was like candy.
Yeah, I think
So
lemonade.
after I tried the lemon, I'm like, yep, this stuff, it's the real deal. So anybody, yes, the rumor is true. Emberry does work. It's $18 shipped on eBay. Because I went on eBay and the auction that I had bought it from, I noticed somebody bought 30 of them.
Yeah, it was John.
They bought 30 packages of this shit. So that's like almost $400
Holy shit.
Yeah.
or more for this stuff. So I'm like, all right, somebody truly thinks this stuff is really that good. So I'm like, let me try one.
Bring me a few of those, John. Damn.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna have an Emberry party at PAX East for sure, dude. I'm bringing
should.
shit ton. We'll just have a big party.
But where the hell are we going to get the fruit from? By a local fruit market or something?
Yeah, local grocery store, whatever. We'll figure it out. Take a taxi somewhere. We'll figure it out. Shit. It is good stuff though. And
Where do you get yours from, John?
Dude, sour cream tastes like whipped cream, dude. So good.
I don't think I want to be sitting there eating a tub of sour cream.
Can you imagine?
You just like go through your refrigerator and try.
Dude, Jason, here's the trippy thing, right? The company that makes this shit is like 2 blocks from where we live.
They're just down the street. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Can you like
Is
some
there
and
a
buy
place that
some?
you can walk in and buy this stuff?
I don't know. I'm going to go and try.
Dude, we should go over there with cameras rolling and just be like, hey, all that business, it's because of us.
I think they need to sponsor us because we're giving them a lot of business, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
You know
where's
how
this spike of
podcasts have like the advertisement at the beginning of the show? It's like, this show is sponsored by Netflix, blah, blah, blah. We could be sponsored by Mberry.
I love it.
That'd be perfect.
endorse it because I love the product.
I could,
should
yeah,
freaking talk to them about
Jason could whip out the sound clip of the
Yeah.
start off with that.
And when they put it on their tongue,
Andrew, you gotta try that shit, dude. I'm telling you.
I know. I'm looking at it on Amazon right now. It's $14.99, and I have. Well, it's not through Prime. It's sold through Mberry, but
oh, so
Yeah.
you got a Amazon store, yeah.
do you just like go through your fridge and try everything and see if it tastes different, or do you just pretty much stick with
everything.
fruit?
Well, you can try
Anything
everything.
that's normally sour is the
'Cause
best to try.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Anything
even think to do sour cream or
Oh yeah,
chocolate.
sour cream,
Oh.
Yeah, they recommend like mustard.
mustard. Yeah, weird random shit.
Yeah. No, that's cool. When you talked about that I told my friends like, oh, we need to do this. It sounds sweet,
Go
but
down on some chick.
Unintended.
yeah, sweet.
Wait, what did you say, John?
I said go down on some chick.
I thought you said something like that. You know, my ears perking up. What are you doing? I'm just sprinkling this on real quick.
Let me let tuna taste a little
Oh, Jesus. It's going downhill real quick.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
Terribly great.
Terrible.
Terribly great.
There should be like a Mberry community forum where like people
Dude,
post
Oh, yeah.
experimental things that they eat and see how it tastes.
I'm gonna do
Great.
an Mberry video. I'm thinking about doing a video just like my reaction video
You should.
because those are so fun to watch. Reaction videos like bounce because that's how I
You
was.
know what would be really successful, John? You create
What?
an Mberry channel where you only eat stuff when you're using Mberry, and
In
then you do a
3D.
review of the food.
in 3D.
In 3D.
Yeah, I think that'd go over really well, Pete.
Hey, you never know. You know,
Yeah,
when
I
I'm
tell
making
you
the
what,
millions
I-
doing that, let me know.
Hamster.
Getting a little late into the evening. I'll do a really fast love talk. One that'll probably take a couple minutes only.
Okay.
If John wants to grab it out of the forums, it's post number 159.
Okay. Hold on one second. And after that, I have Gaming Peace Theater real quick, Johnny, if that's okay.
No problem. We lost
Still here.
We lost somebody.
Pete.
Pete?
Yeah.
Peter
Okay, so where are we at here? Left talk questions. Okay.
Number 159 by you see the name there.
What tab is it?
Huh?
What tab is it? On the 6th tab, 7th tab? What page?
It's on the last page.
Okay.
You can go by the post numbers, John. On the right.
Look at the post
Everybody has-
number.
A post number, see?
Yeah,
Post what? What was the post?
Post 159.
Okay. I got you.
All right.
Are we ready? Is Pete back?
Pete is
Yep.
here.
He's fucking
It's
here.
that time of the podcast for Love Talk with Johnny Millennium. And this is from Mickey's Monarch. And he's wondering, Johnny, how do you overcome sinus around women?
Isn't that shyness?
Or shyness? Shit.
Bar to bar.
Sinus. How do you get over the women's sinus?
Neti pot.
So, Johnny, how do you overcome shyness around women? How are you such an outgoing dude? Lastly, is Pete's baby real?
He says in the next post, actually, 160, he says, just shyness overall.
Just shyness overall.
Before we get into that, I just want to know, what's he talking about? Lastly, is Pete's baby real?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
No, is it the
Is it the Serbian baby?
Serbian baby? Yeah.
Oh.
What the hell?
What is that shit? I don't know. We'll just say, yes, it's real. But on to the serious note, and well, it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. That's I think why I like this question. It says, I was wondering how Johnny, how do you overcome shyness around women? And
either one, sinus or shyness.
Yeah, sinuses. How do you get over their sinuses? Well, you just get a. Anyways, seriously, I think what it is like I think when we all first started dating, we're very shy around women. I remember the first time I was talking to a girl in like grade 8. I was like fucking retarded or something. I'm like, I don't know. I just came off as a complete moron, But the future, in the future, you can still come off as a complete moron, but you can pull it off better. The reason why it's like anything was exactly what we're talking about. The more you date, women, the more you go out with different women, the more confident you'll get.
Just don't try to figure them out.
Yeah, there's no like secret to it. It's not like do 50 confidence push-ups every day and everything will be good. It doesn't really work like that. It's experience, and the more you go out with different women, the more different women that you like, really varied women. You'll get to know a lot more about I don't know how women kind of work, and a lot more how you kind of work, and you'll overcome that in time. I think that's an age thing. I think when you're young, everybody's an idiot, so don't worry about it. We're all I was the biggest idiot, until about a year ago. I'm still an idiot, but you get better at it, and so yeah, are you gonna go walk up to the fucking best looking girl in school and ask her out? Yeah, you'll do that in time, definitely. But what do you guys think?
I think you nailed it, Johnny. To me, it's like risk reward. What's the risk in doing it? She's going to say no, or she's going to laugh at you, which is very rare.
Murder her. That's all you do. If she says no, murder her. That's all you have to
do. But the reward is that you can really, meet someone really nice. So there's more. I think, in my opinion, you get more reward than risk in a situation like that. And just be yourself and don't be fake. And like you said, I think over time, as it gets easier, that's kind of my advice. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's funny. Here's a funny story for you guys. I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but I remember when I was in grade 10, there was one girl in school that me and all my friends would be like, wow, she's just amazing looking. And, that girl wouldn't give us the time of day, that's what we're thinking. And, I remember we were joking. We're all sitting at this lunchroom table going, that's the kind of girl you buy flowers for. I remember actually laughing about that. But that's how, impressed we were with this girl. And it's so funny, through a mutual friend of ours, we actually I went out with this girl, and when we broke up, she's like, oh, let me set you up with one of my friends. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll set you up with one of my friends. And I was playing that angle because I wanted to get hooked up with one of her friends. That was my gig, But she's like, oh, who would you want to date? And I said, oh, none of your friends that I know of. And she's like, what about this person? I'm like, no. What about this person? I'm like, no. And then she's like, what about this person? And this is the girl, that we're all so infatuated with. I don't sound hokey here, but she was like, she was a cheerleader, and she was like just stunningly fucking hot, and I never thought in a million years. Okay, I'm serious. Like, not in a million years I'd have a chance with this girl. Well, what? I said, well, yeah. What about that girl? She's like, oh yeah, I'll phone her up. So, anyways, long story short, I fucking ended up going out with the girl for 3 years. Isn't that funny how things work? So, and what's funny is that she said to me, or not that I got from her, is that she was a very insecure person.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? And I thought she was super confident. She was full of herself. And she never came across that way, like, hey, fuck you guys. I just looked at her and made a judgment call because she was so good looking that, she must have she must pass judgment on everybody else. She must be asked out all the time. And isn't that funny? It wasn't like that at all. She was a lot more insecure when I met her. I couldn't believe it. I was like, why is this girl should be super megally confident. She should know what she has in the way of her, gorgeous looks, but also she has a great personality. But, why would she be insecure? But she was. So, yeah, don't let it overthrow you. Don't let anybody overthrow who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind, guys, are think differently than women do when it comes to the opposite sex, right? I mean, guys, we're all about the physical appearance, first thing, oh, wow, she's hot, big tits, whatnot. Girls look for personality, someone who's funny, someone who's outgoing, right? So keep that in mind. So don't, I guess what I'm trying to say is women aren't as materialistic sometimes as guys would think.
Yeah, it's pretty true. Yeah.
So like Johnny was saying, and a lot of the girls who are like you may think are super, super hot might be super insecure because maybe guys aren't approaching them because they're intimidated by them,
It's totally true. Totally true.
Yeah.
But when you do get a girl, make sure you absolutely pleasure her sexually perfectly.
With M berries.
Yeah.
And if you do have a problem with your sinuses, use a neti pot. Try that out.
Oh, classic. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
I love it, John. I love reading those questions. It's a highlight moment.
I love it when he reads them. I just love it when he fucks them up. It's the best.
Phonics worked for me, Shit. Okay.
Have you used the neti pot, Jason?
Sorry, what's that, Pete?
Yes, once.
That shit is so weird.
It is. It feels like you're drowning.
You take a pot and I haven't used it, but I've seen videos. You take a pot, you pour it in one nostril.
Okay.
And it comes out the other, right?
Yeah. So I was at work and I'm coming down with a cold. And my boss was like, use a neti pot. And I go, nah, I don't cook. I don't want to, I don't do any of that shit. And she just started laughing. And she said, no, neti pot. And I go, yeah, I heard you. I don't know. And she goes, no, it's a thing. So she explained it to me. It's a freaking pot, plastic pot. And you buy it, right? And then it comes with these little packets. It look like Crystal Light packets. And you open them up and pour it into the pot. And then use filtered water, people.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? Don't use tap water.
There were 2 neti pot deaths this past year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brain eating amoebas.
Yeah, that's it. That's no joke. And so I'm using tap water out this bitch. I don't know. I don't know what my problem is.
Wow.
No, I didn't. But anyway, okay. So you pour the warm water in there, you pour the solution in there, and then you lean over the sink, right? And you put the tip of the pot in one of your nostrils, and then just tilt your head to the side and pour it in, and your nose or your sinuses, they fill up with the water, and then it drains out of the other nostril.
No fucking way.
It sounds crazy, and it feels like you got water up your nose, like in a pool or something. It really does. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It fills up and it drains out, but you have to keep your mouth open so the air can push it out, or else that'll go into your lungs, right? And that's not good. So anyway, it's called the neti pot. It's fucking crazy, but my sinuses felt really good. And I had a plugged nose, and it was kind of irritated in there, and that really helped out. The warm water, it kind of flushed it out, and I don't know.
Who thinks of that shit though? Really?
I know. It had a picture of this dude on the front. He's all like, yeah, look at me. I'm so happy. I made this neti pot. And I'm like, dude, you are crazy, man.
Yeah, he's probably a millionaire now.
Millionaire.
But there's another thing. Have you seen those things with like earwax, those candles that you can light the candle and it's supposed to draw the earwax out of your ear? Have you seen those? That's weird too.
I've seen that before. Yeah, that's pretty old actually. That's
pretty old. Yeah, but people still do it. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So, cool. Well, awesome. Real quick, I just want to do a quick gaming piece theater. This is an article. I just want to talk about the Roman Empire of gaming real quick. You guys are familiar with Midway, Bally, and Williams?
Oh, yeah.
They, at the height, they were really, I call them the Empire of Gaming, Roman Empire of Gaming, because they were everywhere. I mean, you couldn't go to the arcade without hearing the names Williams and Bally, and even Midway to a point, right? Yeah, sure. So I posted an article on my website, quick plug, but basically, long story short, we'll start with Bally. It's founded in 1932. Bally's kind of interesting because they've done a ton of stuff, not just games, but started by Ray Maloney in the 30s. And he made one of the first pinball games. Bally made the first pinball games with like flippers that are inward that we know about today. Okay. They also got into making pinball machines and back in the 30s. So not pinball machines, but gambling machines. It's like slot machines. Okay. And going down here in the 40s during World War II, they kind of they stepped back from making slot machines and pinball machines, and they got into making ammunition and parts for trucks and stuff for World War II, which is kind of interesting.
Wow.
In the 50s, they did a ton of things in the 50s. They had anything from they made vending machines for candies and snacks. They made coffee vending machine service. They had a coffee vending machine service. They even got into making like music labels, Jason. They made like they had their own record label, Bally record label in the 50s.
That's nuts, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Now Ray passed away in 58, but the Bally, a bunch of old former associates purchased the company and took over. And in 63, they started they introduced what they call a revolutionary electromechanical system that were basically in slot machines. Like what we see in today, slot machines today, where how it spins and stuff like that today. They actually started all that, and they added something to the slot machine that's really revolutionary today. And in the 70s, they got into making going into Atlantic City, they bought a casino in Atlantic City, and they bought a couple casinos in Vegas. So they started kind of different to separate. They got the slot machine market was really working. They decided to start their own casinos, and which is actually they're still around today. They also came out with a Bally Astrocade in 77, which is a console to compete with the Atari 2600.
Oh, I mean,
they're doing a ton of shit, right? And in the 80s, going on the 80s, still doing well. The casino market's booming. They decided to get into the fitness market, and they started Bally Total Fitness, which is around still today.
Oh.
So it's crazy, right? So they have Bally Total Fitness, they have Bally Casinos, which is still around, and they have their home. They have a slot machine market, and then they have their pinball machine market, which is really thriving. Unfortunately, they expanded way too fast, and Williams basically took over. But there's one thing I forgot to mention. In 68, they purchased Midway Games in 68. Okay, so it was Bally Midway, and that was, and then they got bought out by Williams in the late 80s. Now, Williams Games, you guys are familiar with Williams Games. They made famous arcade games like Nintendo, NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat, some classic arcade games. They helped introduce, and this is back when Bally owned them still. They helped introduce Space Invaders into the market in the late 70s, which was a huge smash success. They worked closely with Taito in Japan to bring that over. They also brought, in 1980, it was a huge hit because they brought Pac-Man over. They worked with Namco. So, and in 1981, they released Miss Pac-Man, which was unauthorized by Namco. Namco did not know about Miss Pac-Man, and Midway decided to do it anyway. Okay. So Midway continued to grow. And in 1988, Williams Electronics ended up purchasing Bally Midway division from Bally Corporation. So now Bally Midway is owned by Williams, and then Bally would remain as a company, as a casino. And they also sold off their fitness center as well because they were hurting for money. They expanded way too fast. Williams themselves, Williams is interesting, started in 43. All three companies are out of Chicago, interesting enough. Williams started making pinball machines. They brought in the late 70s, they brought a pawn clone arcade called Paddle Ball, which is a cool arcade that do very well. But they were known for more their pinball machines. They had some classics like Defender in the arcades and some classic games like that. But they had some their top pinball machines were like Space Shuttle, came out 84, Comet, Pinbot, which is ported to the NES, which is a classic. I mean, they made some really fantastic pinball machines, and they really dominated the market. The last Williams pinball machine was made in 1999, and there's two of them. It was part of their Pinball 2000 franchise, which was Episode 1, Star Wars Episode 1, and I think it was Revenge from Mars. And what it was, do you guys remember these? They had like the video reflection, and it was almost like a video pinball in one, like a video game.
Totally.
It's totally cool. They figured the pinball machine market, unfortunately, by the 90s was really dying. It was just, there's so much other games in the arcade, and people could play games at home. It just wasn't doing very well, unfortunately. So they decided maybe if we put some video game elements to it, maybe it would do a little bit better. So where are these companies today? Williams is still making, they don't make any more pinball machines, but interesting enough, they're making slot machines in casinos today. So if you go into like a Vegas casino or any casino, more often than not, you'll see a Williams slot machine. Bally today they're also making slot machines. So ironically, they're competitors making slot machines, and they're doing very well at it. I forgot to mention in the 60s, 95% of the slot machines you'd see at a casino were Bally machines. They were huge. Okay. And then unfortunately, Midway defunct. They sold off all their rights. I think it was several years ago, 98. They sold their rights like Mortal Kombat to Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers made the new Mortal Kombat that we saw recently, and unfortunately, they got speared off from Williams. Got rid of the whole gaming industry. They tried went solo for a while and didn't do very well. So kind of interesting how Bally had done so many interesting things. Anything from a record label to their own fitness center. Coffee vending machine, slot machines. But a very interesting part of gaming history for sure, and that's Gaming Piece Theater.
See, now, isn't learning fun when you're learning about shit you care about?
It certainly is.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So
that's a beautiful one.
That's kind of in a nutshell. One of the most successful pinball machines ever made was Addams Family Pinball Machine. Came out in 92 based on the movie Addams Family, and they sold over 20,000 machines, which is cool. So
that's a lot of machines.
That's a lot, yeah. So
cool.
There you are. Gaming Piece Theater.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm doing it off of memory,
fun,
so I probably fucked it up. But yeah, it's been fun, dude. It's been fun.
Real. Yeah. Pete, are you still there?
I am still there.
Hi, Pete.
Pete, what are you doing over there?
It's strange.
It's not strange. We know you're doing something.
When you're alone in a dark room and you're a man, it's okay. It's only natural.
And you're a man.
Well, first, I was talking to Josh Games of War because he wants to play Sonic and Sega All-Star Racings tonight. But
I'm in.
Sorry, still recording. So I don't know if he's still playing. And then, because I didn't have the audio on, but I was watching my old high score for Pac-Man Championship Edition on Xbox Live Arcade because we were talking about like old Xbox Live Arcade games we really liked. And I'm watching myself play. I'm like, God damn, I couldn't do that now. Like that game gets so fast, but it's a really good game.
Hey, Peter, are you on Xbox right now?
I am not.
Oh, you should log in. Just take a look around on your friends list.
What?
What, did you change your name or something, or you're on?
I didn't change my name, no.
You're playing Sonic All-Star Racing right now?
No.
You're playing Hydro Thunder?
No.
You're naked?
Well, always when we record.
Good.
I'm playing Flat Out, Ultimate Carnage.
Jason.
Pete Dorr. Don't talk to me that way. They're all great games, Pete.
No, that's what I want, though, for sure.
You haven't got that yet? I thought you did.
I have not, no.
Oh,
I saw
man.
it.
Jeez.
And I thought of you the second I saw it. I saw the letter F, and I'm like, up, Jason. And
yeah.
I don't know. I have to get it eventually. It's pretty hard to find, though.
Yeah, good
but
stuff.
I say what we do here tonight, since it is getting very late, is we let Andrew tell us the games he's been playing recently and then call it a night, I guess.
Yes.
Definitely.
Fair enough.
Cool. Sweet. Okay. Well, as I know, I shared with John and Jason, I was on a cruise last week. So there was an arcade on there, but it wasn't really too enticing. So I didn't spend any time in there. But I got some games for Christmas. And one that I've been playing before the cruise was Kirby's Mass Attack on the DS. It's a very good game. Is everybody still there?
Yeah, we're here.
We're listening.
We're listening.
Good evening.
You're entranced. I love it.
That's a Kirby game I still kind of need to get eventually. I don't know. It's
very good. It's a lot.
It kind of reminds me of like Pikmin meets Kirby, right? That's kind of the idea.
I heard somebody described it as like a real-time strategy. I don't know if it would go that far, but it is cool. It's different, really colorful, great music, and a lot of extra added bonus content there. There's like a shoot 'em up bonus game, and there's a whole pinball that reminds me of the Kirby pinball game back on Game Boy. So there's just a lot to it. It's really good. Before Christmas, I beat Gianna Sisters DS, which I was not a fan of at all.
Yeah.
I guess I guess it'd be different if I played it on the Commodore 64, back in the day. But it was, all the boss battles were the same. There's just a lot that I wasn't a huge fan of. But I guess I can see how some people would appreciate it. I went to a GameStop yesterday and I picked up a game. Yep. So it was I got Tokyo Beatdown on the Nintendo DS, quote unquote new.
Okay. Here we go.
The GameStopper DS edition. Every GameStop I've been to, the DS games are right by the window. So automatically, if they've been around there for a while, they're going to have sun damage. And not only was the label faded, but it was like scratched up and everything. And I went up and I said, "Hey, do you have is that just your display copy? Do you have another one?" And they didn't, and it was their only copy. So I asked if I could switch it out with a case from a used game. And he kind of gave me a hard time, but he ended up doing it. So I appreciated that, but I don't know if it's a new game, and especially if you're getting it for someone as a gift, I just don't think that would be too acceptable. But anyway, I played it yesterday and it was pretty good. I didn't get too far, but I started it yesterday so I could have something to talk about on the show.
I remember Retrocalypse used to speak very highly of that game.
Yeah, it's fun. The story is crazy. The dialogue is awesome. It's hilarious. And the comment's not too bad. But I'm definitely into it and keep playing. And lastly, also got the Humble Indie Bundle when that was out.
Yeah, like an idiot, I forgot to download that shit.
Oh no, is it?
No,
did you purchase it?
The old one that had a million games and all the soundtracks. No,
yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'll buy it later, and then I always would forget, and now it's gone. It was $5 for 20 games.
Yeah.
Amazing deal.
Yeah, my friend and my brother were both telling me about it, and I did the same thing. I put it off. I was like, I'm going to get it. And then finally my buddy got it for me for Christmas. And I guess you could donate money to Child's Play or Red Cross. So that's pretty cool. But I played Cave Story and Jamestown, which is just awesome. And
but now tell me your thoughts on Cave Story. Have you played much yet?
I have. Have you?
I've been playing it on 3DS, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but I can tell you kind of where I am.
Well, weapon-wise, how many weapons do you have? If you can remember.
Yeah, it was one day right before Christmas. I think I have 3, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to a part.
Have you fought a frog yet? A giant frog?
No, the last enemy I fought was the mean bunny rabbit, a little bigger. And and there was a house that had a crack in it that you have to get a key.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah, so the bubblegum. Yeah, the bubblegum key. Yep.
Yep. So that's where I am, and yeah, it's cool. Got it for my Mac, so it's pretty enjoyable. I have to get back to that.
I really like that game. Granted, I'm only playing the 3DS version. I never played the original, but yeah, I can't speak highly enough for it. It's very good.
Yeah. And I guess that's about it. Like I said, haven't been around too much. Played a little bit of iOS games. Sega All-Star Racing was free for a couple days on the iPhone.
Right after I buy it. Every fucking game I buy on there is free the next day. It's unbelievable.
So that was good. Yeah. And just some other random games. Tiny Tower, Jetpack Joyride, Ticket to Ride, which is a board game that they have as an app. So just a lot of little ones, casual, whatnot. But yep.
Hey Pete, I don't know why that reminded me of games to download and stuff like that. I remember watching you stream that fucking game
Mushihime-sama.
on Xbox Live.
Oh no, on Xbox?
King of Dragons.
Yeah. Wait. An Xbox Live RPG on?
Yeah. It was an online RPG, and it was terrible.
Shit. No,
I don't know why that's popped in my mind.
That game was amazing.
What was it called?
It was called Xbox Live Avatar Adventures or some shit.
Oh.
Basically, okay. The second I started playing this game and I got into a battle, I'm like, this guy is a fan of Final Fantasy XI because it borrowed so many gameplay nuances from that game. I'm like, this guy is totally basing this off of Final Fantasy XI. And it essentially was an Xbox Live indie game that was an MMORPG. As crazy as this sounds, we used your avatar and you actually played in a basically an open world. Open in the sense that it has a lot of different connected areas and towns and stuff.
It's just a large world. Doesn't mean
large world. You can party with people and fight monsters and fight harder monsters to get drops. And there's drops in the game epic loot and shit. It was okay for the 2 or 3 hours that I played it. It was totally worth the few dollars I paid for it. And the funny thing was, I was streaming it, and I got other people in the chat to buy it and play it with me. It was pretty funny.
It was funny. I know that was very memorable because it was such a terrible game. Actually, very fun game to stream. Actually, for sure. It was fun. I don't know why that popped back in my head. I was thinking I was going to ask you, have you ever gone back to that?
No.
Right.
I wonder if people.
Yeah, right. You'll never do that game again.
No, probably not. But I wonder if people still play it.
Who knows?
That's the kind of game, honestly, like, if 4 people bought that and, like, hopped on there and we all started playing at the same time, that's the kind of game where I could honestly play for, like, 10 hours one night.
I like playing online RPGs with people like that. I could really... I get a bad fetish for that. Like, I could really get involved in that too much, I should say. So
you better hope that you never get Phantasy Star Online 2 then over on the consoles.
You know what? If that was on a console, wow, yeah. I'm pissed at this fucking... I should do a video. I should really do a video going, come on, Sega. But I don't do videos like that. I don't do fucking, like, I don't know, rant videos. Fuck you, Sega. Where's my Phantasy Star Online 2?
Pass it off to Alpha Omega Sin. He can do an awesome rant video.
That's more his thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love his rants.
Yeah,
they're good. Because he's saying exactly what a lot of people think. He says a lot of what I think, but my show is very structured very differently. People be like, why is Johnny so angry?
Honestly, he's one of the most, I guess you could say, talented. But for him to do a rant video, like full rant video, with not a single edit, like straight through for 18 minutes.
I know.
And
I know.
The whole video, it's unbelievable.
And he knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? He's not like just some guy talking. He says a couple of sentences, then he runs out of steam and he repeats himself. He actually knows exactly. He's really researched what he's about to get in there and talk about, and he's genuinely passionate. You know what I mean?
Oh, you can tell.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. Yeah.
His part in the Game Chasers Christmas special was hilarious.
As soon as I saw him poke through the window, like, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get into that one next year, Pete.
I'm sure I probably will.
Yeah, I know. That was a crazy Christmas special. Thanks. Yeah, maybe we should go to MagFest one time, eh?
Yeah, that'd be good. That just happened this past weekend, dude.
Yeah, I know. I did because as I said, I did some stuff with the Happy Video Game Nerd for his DVD. And that's what kind of made me remember it. And I know the Game Chasers were going down as well for the show a TV panel and stuff like that. And it's funny, the Happy Video Game Nerd said to me, he's like, hey, he's like, why you should go to MagFest. And I was like, I've never thought about it.
Hey, that's
he's coming from Alaska too, so you got no excuse for not coming, because he's coming from Alaska.
Totally. Well, yeah, they are part of Retroworld TV. They're all one big gang, right? So they have a reason to get together. For me, it seems like kind of far out there, and I'm like, yeah, I maybe in the future should go out there and do that for sure. Yeah, never thought about it before. That's the only reason why I'm bringing it up.
So I could pick like eight different conventions I could probably want to go to, including like Celebration, which is a big Star Wars convention that every year freaking would be awesome to go to. So
are you going to go to that one, John?
I'd love to, but man, I only have, so much funds.
Hey, is that sorry, I don't know anything about Star Wars conventions. Is that like a premier Star Wars convention?
Oh yeah, the Celebration is like put on by Lucas and the Star Wars organization.
Oh man, that's serious.
It's every other year. I think it's every other year. But it's huge. Like I think last year was in Florida. 70,000 people. I think.
Oh,
I mean, it was crazy. Yeah. So.
Nice.
So that's pretty big, cool. And they have exclusives and stuff, So let me look it up. I'm curious how many people went.
To answer your question from the way beginning of the show about what video game convention I would go to, I'm looking at MagFest right now, and that's held right in my backyard.
Oh, you should go to that.
Yeah, I've never. There was one in 2007 in Vienna, Virginia, and that's right where I am. So I'll have to keep an eye out on that. That's sweet.
Maybe next year. If I can get a bunch of us down there for sure. I'll definitely go. It might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Only about 30,000, so I was way over. But
Wait,
still, huge.
It says music and video game convention. Is the music they play video game themed, or is it just random music?
That's what Mag stands for, isn't it? It's music.
And gaming, probably.
Chiptune.
I thought music, animation, and gaming. Maybe you're right. It's music and gaming. Yeah.
Concerts by chiptune artists and video game cover bands. Yeah.
Chiptune. Wow, I'll be in line for that. I'm telling you that when I walked into that first chiptune event back at PAX East for the first time, I was like mesmerized. I'm like, wow, like it was very strange. I'll just say that a live chiptune show.
Yeah,
but it was. I liked it.
Guys, I got some big news. I didn't tell you it's my birthday this Friday, and one of the presents that Kim got me was the Zelda concert is coming into town.
Oh wow. I know. Yeah. I saw they announced new dates, and I saw it was coming to Vancouver. I'm like, Johnny's going to that.
But get this, Kim did something above and beyond. This is just fucking amazing. Front row center.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Front row center. So that's pretty amazing.
Holy shit!
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not in line for that shit. I'm in front of that line for that shit.
The only sad thing is you can't record anything in there, unfortunately, to share the experience because they don't allow it. Basically,
I got my iPhone in there. I'll get some
hidden glasses, dude.
What's that?
I have some hidden glasses. Spy glasses.
Do you guys? Is there any guests that are coming along? Have they got like Miyamoto in a trunk that comes along or something?
Pops out of the birthday cake.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I'm really looking forward to it. Like, that's going to be unbelievable. And you know what sucks about going to an experience like that is that a lot of times, as you're right, you can't videotape it. I'd love to kind of get a bit more of the experience to kind of show it to people. But we'll see.
Just enjoy it. It'll be sweet.
Yeah, but it's over. It's like Video Games Live was over, and I kind of was like, man, I wish I could have recorded that a little bit more than what I did. But
wait, how many times have you been to Video Games Live? Once?
Just once.
I've been to it like 3 or 4 times now, I think.
And what did I go to something else? Did I go to like Final Fantasy?
Distant Worlds, yeah.
Distant Worlds, yeah, that's the other one I went to. And then this one will be, Zelda orchestrated. Well, how many? You've been looking at the dates. How many places are they hitting? I don't know anything about that.
They're announcing dates over time. So far, there's really nothing like in the eastern area that I've seen. So they're still kind of just randomly announcing groups of, cities that they're going to be visiting. I will totally. Yeah. I'm totally going to it though.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think that's kind of like I don't want to sound hokey, and for anybody listening, I think this is kind of like a once in a lifetime thing. Mm-hmm. I don't think that
it really is. They're not going to do something like this ever again. So if anybody's interested in this, go do a freaking Google search on it and look it up. See if it's coming somewhere near you. If you're a Zelda fan, it's totally worth checking this shit out. Like, you'll never see it again in a lifetime. Remember that. If you're a Zelda fan, don't miss out on this because it's something wonderful. I'm assuming something like this is going to come to New York City. So that's what I'm holding out.
You know what? I'd be happy if it didn't because like New York City gets everything and everybody else gets screwed. It'd be great if New York gets screwed for once.
Yeah.
And Pete's like, no.
I saw Anamanaguchi in DC. That was great. They were cool. Live chiptune.
Yeah, they're the ones that do the
Scott
Pilgrim soundtrack. Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent music, eh?
Totally not what I was expecting. I mean, I don't know what I thought they'd, be doing the electronic music, but they just kind of set up their Nintendo or Game Boy or whatever, and then they're just playing their instruments, their bass, guitar, and drum, and it was awesome. They really got into it. They put on a great show.
Hey, speaking of chiptunes, that reminds me. I got it's kind of past due, but I got a Christmas chiptune album to give you guys.
Oh,
it's all done in Christmas music, chiptunes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
It's classic, dude. I got 3 extra copies, and I'm gonna mail them to you guys. So.
Oh, I'd love it.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, Jason, I'll just give it to you.
What exactly is it? Is it just like an independent work?
Yeah, just an independent guy, and he sent me. He's like, I got some stuff I want to send you, and I'm like, right on. I appreciate that, and
I think I might know who sent that to you.
I was gonna do kind of a contest. It came after Christmas as a deal, unfortunately, because but just bad timing, but. wanted to give them to you guys anyway. So it'll be great. I think you guys will enjoy it. I mean, there's some fantastic Christmas tunes. It's all done in 8-bit chip tunes and music. It's pretty cool.
That's sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So this guy made the music, John?
Yeah.
I got to get in touch with him for next year's Christmas special if I can use his music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it the homebrew Nintendo guy?
Good question.
Was his name Justin Bushi Carlino?
Maybe.
Yeah, because I've met up with him before. Yeah, he makes his own.
It's Boosie. Oh, yeah.
Boosie.
Yeah, it probably was Boosie. Jason knows who that is.
I know Boosie. I know that dude.
What game was that we were owning him in? What game was that? That shooting game? That free-to-play one?
Oh, fucking Crossfire.
Okay, his name is Chad Ritchie.
Well, shout out to Boosie because he makes his own 8-bit chiptune Christmas music.
Yeah. Haven't talked to him in a while. Wonder if he still listens to the show.
If you do,
Well, shout out to him anyway.
Boosie. Hey.
Well, boys, I got to fly off.
It's been a lot of fun, all right?
Yeah, it's been fun. Now it's
All right, guys, it's been fun. Andrew, thanks for joining us. I know it's kind of late where you're at. I appreciate you staying
this. No, just kidding.
No, this is great. Thanks for having me on. I know it's kind of like, not a YouTuber, not really used to this. And I have to admit, coming today and, realizing there'd probably be hundreds or more listening kind of gets a little nervous, but it's just been awesome hanging out and just hearing you guys and just, letting you know how much I appreciate all you do.
Right on, man. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you for listening. That's
and
amazing.
just a final thank you to everybody that sent in videos for the user appreciation. But just last thing we want to say is to some of you that we didn't select, there were many great videos out there, but believe it or not, some of you we had planned on bringing onto the show anyway. So we were like, okay, we don't want to really waste a slot on someone we planned on bringing on anyway.
Right.
And those of you that we did not select, believe me, we will be in contact with you in the future for sure, because there's still a lot of people that we want to bring on that did videos for us. Because
this isn't the last. This is
just the beginning.
Yep. Just the beginning. There you go.
It's just the beginning. I like that.
And then even after that, if we still haven't picked you, just go jump off a bridge.
Oh my God.
Jason,
I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, there's some kid out there going,
it's an adult joke for us adults.
Well, I feel so honored.
One, Jason.
go commit suicide with a neti pot. Go get some
neti pot.
Brain
amoebas. Go drown yourself.
Big thank you also to those who are leaving ratings on iTunes. You guys have been doing that lately, and we greatly appreciate that, because the more you guys rate, yeah.
That was me doing it. I was leaving the ratings.
Oh, thank you, Johnny.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Johnny.
you doing
No
that.
problem.
But the more people do that, the more we get known, and that's awesome. So appreciate you guys' support.
But we're regularly featured on the video game section on iTunes.
Well, yeah, we're also quite often or not, we're in the top, top 100 or something?
Well, I think, we're always in the top 100. We like break the top 30, top 40 usually.
Yeah.
Top 40, I'd say.
That's what I was, yeah.
That's cool. It's very hard to believe. And don't forget, guys, that new logo. We're looking for a new logo. So
And by the way, I've mentioned this on the show before, but if anybody uses Squarespace for websites, please, if you know how to fix this problem where it only allows a feed of 30 feed items, because essentially on iTunes it only shows the last 30 podcast episodes, and I cannot figure out a way to fix that, to get it to get iTunes to, because basically I use FeedBurner to grab the feed from Squarespace, but it's only grabbing 30 episodes. And then iTunes is pulling that feed and it's only showing the last 30. So if anybody has experience with Squarespace and how to get around this problem, or can tell me how to, I don't want to screw it up, because I don't want to transfer the feeds and then have everything wiped out, So
ask around. If you don't know somebody, ask if maybe you have a friend or somebody who knows, because we would love to have all of our episodes up there on iTunes for everyone to download.
Because this website, Squarespace, is not cheap. It's more of like a top of the line web hosting service, I guess you can say, because it's very user interface friendly. It makes designing a site very easy to maintain and change. But I'm telling you, this feed thing, I did not know about that when I first downloaded and bought.
Is there no facts that you can check out?
I'm gonna have to look into it more. I looked into it, and I might have to see if they have like a customer service number to call. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I can't listen to the second episode now. Can't go back to the early ones.
You have to go to just their website and go back that way. And by the way, the episode page on the website, I always forget to take that shit down because I have not updated it since like the third episode or some bullshit.
And can you add a few pieces onto the puzzle there, Pete? Please, like the YouTube page and whatever.
And Jason,
else.
I don't think even Jason's mentioned on it.
No, Jason's on that. He's on the host page, right?
I hope so.
Oh no, you're totally on the host page.
Oh yeah, he's on the host page. Yeah.
Yeah, I added you on as soon as we brought you on. Jason, I would not make you go 70.
I'm fucking quitting the band. No, it's cool.
Right on.
Well,
nice guys.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Have a great night, you guys. Good times.
We'll talk to you later.
Well,
thanks, Andrew.
Hey, I guess I won't talk to you guys later. There's no way to get in contact, but it was a pleasure.
Yeah, you can always Facebook us.
Facebook, best way. Yeah.
I guess that is the best way. Yeah.
That's it. Facebook.
Get on the forums. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool. All right, guys.
So,
thanks.
Later, guys.
Wait, ready? I'm about to break another world record.
Oh God, I'm shutting the shit down.
The fastest games I've been playing recently ever.
No.
I played Rayman Origins on 360. I also played more. Actually, I'm pretty close to the end of Rayman, and I played more Treasure Hunter G on the Super Nintendo. I'm about 5 hours into that. More Cave Story, and of course, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and that's all I've been playing.
Hey, Pete. Why do you make like a tree and leave?
Cool.
No. I was trying to think of the Back to the Future ways. Like, make like a tree and get out of here.
We have a world record, folks. That was the shortest.
That was the shortest.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Okay, I'm out of beer.
See you guys.
Later.
Bye.
Right, see you guys.
Okay.
God damn, that was a long episode.